How is everyone doing tonight? Um, as the title said, as the thumbnail showed, Prismatic Evolutions, it's not even out yet and it's already getting a reprint. Investors shaking in their boots, absolutely in shambles. Is the hobby gonna make it? Are we gonna survive this? Very, very uh extra title. Very, very extra thumbnail. But I've heard some crazy things. I've been a part of some crazy conversations already. Uh, Prismatic Evolutions comes out Friday. Evolutions comes out on January 17th. It's January 15th. The set's not even out yet. And people are losing their minds. Pre-order prices are obscene. Triple MSRP, 150. Pre-order window has passed. And I believe that it's a free-for-all now. Or maybe not till Friday still. But starting Friday, anyone with Prismatic can list it. I broke down my Prismatic today. I had been saying for quite a while on these very live streams, I've been saying that I have maybe a month. I have maybe a month worth of Prismatic. I don't have a whole lot. Allocations are pretty dark. I was counting my booster bundles. I was counting products that are still months away. I did not realize for the longest time, literally until today, that ETBs and sticker collections and the binder collections would be all I would get. So I broke down most things. I didn't break down everything. I have obligations to fulfill towards my dad with our joint investment on sending some amount of ETB cases to our pallet. And 4 is like the minimum. I might do like 6 or so. We'll see. I need to figure that out like tomorrow, basically. But I broke down everything except for 10 cases of ETBs. I broke down everything I had for Prismatic allocation. I've been with my distributors for 10 years. Going back to 2014, 2015. I've ordered 1 million plus between the both of them. I don't know if it would be 1 million with either of them in total. I'd have to look back on that. Maybe, probably. But I broke down everything and I sent a package to PK and Panga. And if I broke down the rest, I would have 900 more packs. I sent 700 packs to PK, and I sent 400 packs to Panga. I'm not going to spill the beans on all of it tonight, but I'm going to do a video recapping our first 90 days on Fanatics live streaming. And I'm going to do a video that's going to show and talk about how much surging we sold at release weekend, how much we sold the next week and the next week, and how that kind of decayed over time. Most sets, they come out here, they come out not price-wise, I'm saying hype-wise. Hype-wise, sales volume-wise, liquidity-wise. Most sets at release, liquidity, hype, all that stuff here. And then it kind of trickles off over time, right? Until the next set comes. Because every set, best set ever. Every set, best set of all time. And then it kind of wanes. And every 2-3 months, Pokemon is pumping something out and keeping our attention always not too far off that, like, peak, right? And now in the midst of all this, like, we're doing this inside of a big boom, so it's crazy. But I sent 700 packs to PK and 400 packs to Panga, and I do have 900 more packs that I could, but I've always liked to set some back. I've always liked to set back some ETBs of specialty sets. I've always liked to set back some booster cases of regular sets, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do entirely with that. I might have to break down more of it, but please, if you're selling, let me pull up my spreadsheet. So Prismatic is looking like 130 for ETB right now. 70% of that is 91. 80% of that is 104. Let's say 97.50. If you have Prismatic ETBs, I will buy them from you. You ship them to my PO box first, and then once I receive them and verify them, I will buy them for 97.50 a piece. I'm not gonna buy like 1,000 at that price. I have pretty good grasp on how many packs I need. I expect that I'll need, I have my data from surging. I expect it'll be a little bit more than that. Part of me expects it'll be a little bit more than that. But will it really? Will it really if the packs are 15 bucks a piece when surging was only $5 a piece or so? I guess I'm not entirely sure. I have an idea of how many I'll need in the coming week. So If you're selling Prismatic ETBs, if your allocation came in and you didn't pre-order it all away at MSRP and you still have some of it, DM me, email me, answer the contact form on my website. I am buying Prismatic at $97.50 an ETB. That might be, maybe I'd buy that on up to 20 cases worth at this time, approximately, because I need it. I need it to be sold. I need PK and Ponga need it. I want them to have it every night. I never want to be out of stock of a set anytime within the first few months, at least. Sets like 151, sets like Crown Zenith, I want to have them years later. If someone wants that, I want to have that for them. And there's so many conversations we could have tonight. We'll see where the chat goes. That's my little introductory rant. We'll see where the night takes us. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about Prismatic. Obviously, the title, the thumbnail, all that stuff, the announcement that Pokemon made earlier, that they've made for the 5th time in the past 5 years regarding printing more. Maybe the timing of this one was unique. Maybe this was the earliest that they've ever announced that. I don't know that they've ever done that for a set before release day, to be fair. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this market all goes. But if you're the consumer, if you're the truest of true collectors out there, and you're not feeling good about it, and you don't like how much money you have to spend to get the packs, like, if you want them, Ponga and PK will be there live on Fanatics every night. Maybe starting tomorrow night. Maybe Ponga will have enough to go live tomorrow night. I'm not sure. Definitely starting Friday night. We might run out of stock at some points. Like, we generally might run out of stock, but if it's too much money, that's perfectly fine. I opened 1 ETB with my family today. We usually open a couple of ETBs. We usually open 6 packs or so each. So I guess that's almost like 3 ETBs. Sometimes we'll split a booster box. We'll go 9 packs each. I told my kids, it's like, this is $15 a pack. My daughter doesn't really know what that means, but my son was like, that's a lot of money. My 6-year-old son asked me, why is everyone paying so much money for it? And I said, you know what, son? I don't really know. Hype, FOMO, all these crazy things. And my son knows, like, if you tell him, hey, this is going to be what dessert is going to be tonight, you got to eat your dinner first, though, and then get to it. He has a hard time with it sometimes. He's getting better. My daughter's probably worse. She's 4. She's worse with it just due to her age, due to her maturity level. And I was watching my kids this week, and some of the things they'll like fight over, some of the things they'll do. Like, if one person has a toy, million toys in our house, way too many. If one of them has one, the other just fixates on it, and it's like, I have to have that one. I don't care that Christmas just happened. I don't care that I have all these new toys. I don't care about the Lego set we still have to build. I don't care about the new Barbie. I don't care about, like, he has that one. She has that one. I want that one now. I want that one 5 minutes ago. I need it now. And like, so much of what's going on in the Pokemon market, primarily with adults, is what my kids are doing when they fight over toys. No, you don't have to have that right now. Let your brother take a turn. Let your sister take a turn. Patience. Or, and this doesn't really work in this analogy, like, or spend them, like, if you want it, spend the money. That's what capitalism is. That's what this market we transact in is. Watching Box Nostalgia earlier. Shout out to Fierski and Ponga, and shout out to their guests, Java and Chef. Java was talking about like a PS5. A lot of people want them. A lot of people want them day one. It's like, I don't want to wait. PS5 is out. I want to play the new Call of Duty. I want to play the new Madden. I want to play like whatever it is. I want it now. You have a PS4, you have all those same games. Oh no, but this one's newer, this one's shinier, this one's better, this one's faster. This one is the one. I want this one now. Like, okay. Retail is, well, I haven't bought a new console since, like, I bought the PS3 when it was years old. But it's like, pay the money to get it now, or don't. You can't just say, oh, MSRP is this, I'm entitled to it for that. Well, Sony, like, if we're talking about the Xbox, if we're talking about Microsoft, they only produce so many for launch. And if consumers will be impatient enough and FOMO enough about all this stuff, people will arbitrage that. You can't. In some ways, it would be nice. I get it. I get the sentiment that it would be nice if no one would go in and scalp the Costco products and scalp the Target products. I don't do that. Some people do that and then they sell to me, and it's like, it is what it is. I don't vet whether someone's selling to me at 80% of market stuff that they got from their distributor. And sometimes it is what they got from their distributor. I've bought people's allocations from them essentially at various times throughout the years. And sometimes it's stuff they got from Costco, and sometimes it's stuff they got from PokemonCenter.com. Like, I don't know. I am an adult participating in the market. I am making offers. I'm simultaneously buying packs at $9.75. Well, buying ETBs at $97.50 a piece, and I'm selling them for like $130 a piece. I'm open, honest about both sides of that transaction, and you don't have to participate in either. There are most of the people in the Pokemon market will never sell to me. Most of the people in the Pokemon market will never buy from me, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not demanding that you do that. I'm just a guy who's here. If you want to sell to me, you can. If you want to buy from me or Ponga or PK, you can. And it's just so silly how childish, like 4 and 6 year olds fighting over a toy, some people will get. It's just mind-boggling. And certain people think they're more entitled to it. They've been around longer. They want it more. They're more true collector. They're never going to sell. None of that really means anything. It's like, it's a limited luxury good. And the fact of the matter is that there are so many, and there has been so many sets so available. And this is what I said last week. This is what I'll say next week too. To the truest of true collectors, if you're on a budget, if you don't have the money, you can skip it. You can wait. Crown Zenith right now, amazing set. One of the best sets released in the past few years. One of the best sets released ever, I think. It's come up a bunch. It's on its way up because Sea and Sky boxes seem to be gone from Costco. But like Crown Zenith was a specialty set. Crown Zenith was a set that was hard to get for a while, and I don't remember the exact price trajectory and price history of all this stuff. ETBs are $90 now, but loose packs are still the link on my website's broken for Crown Zenith naturally as I'm trying to find the price for it. But right now a booster pack of Crown Zenith is like still at ish retail, I believe. Why am I not? Oh, there it is. So a booster pack of Crown Zenith right now is $6.89. So that's actually running up above MSRP now. But what I was going to say, and Crown Zenith was available $4 or $5 for a long time, which per pack, maybe you can't get the ETB, maybe you can't get the 10 collection you want, but you could get like per pack, you could get Crown Zenith at or under MSRP for a long time. If you went to Costco, you could get it for a long time. Last summer, $151, now $10, $12 a pack. You could get it for MSRP for a long time, MSRP or under. So like, I truly believe this. I'm selling this weekend, potentially tomorrow night with Ponga, Friday night with PK. I'm going to be selling Prismatic at 13 to 15 a pack probably. Market slightly marked up. I got to pay the streamers. I got to pay the fees, and I want to make a little money. I want to make a little money on it. Because not only, I mean, as I said, I have a couple thousand packs that will evaporate within a week or two, and then I'm buying from the open market. I'm buying from you guys. I'm buying from other people who sell to me at 80% of market. So I'm not just getting a million booster packs at $3 a piece. $3 a piece is approximately what I pay. So for the first couple thousand packs that I sell, I'm making a stupid margin. If I was purely a consumer in this space, my whole household is consuming 9 booster packs. We consumed 1 ETB. And you can do that too. Or you can consume less. I might open more of it down the line with my family, with my kids, when it's $4, $5, $6 a pack. I believe it will get there. But it won't if everyone just keeps buying at 13. And I'm not telling everyone band together. Let's all agree to not buy until it's X price. That's not going to work. There's too many people. But to an extent, like, that's actually how it works. If people aren't buying, people will lower the prices until they start buying. And if people buy really quickly and things sell out really quickly, they'll raise their prices to account for that, right? It's supply and demand. I listened to TCA Gaming doing like a basic Econ 101, like supply and demand fundamentals for like 30 minutes. And it was a great video. Shout out to Rusty, great video. And people were mad at him in the chat. It's like the most wholesome guy, the most honest, like, upstanding member of our community. One of them at least. I don't think anyone who knows him would not fight me on that. One of the most upstanding members of our community, honest, straightforward, just like humble guy. And people are attacking him in the comments because he's selling only at a, like, he's not selling enough under market. He's not selling enough under, it's like, what are we talking about here? I think that's my whole rant. I think that's my whole rant for tonight. I am going to move into the live stream now, the live stream chat. I'm going to try to stay up relatively. Yeah, and then Brad likes to talk a lot. He likes to chirp. $13 a pack? I'm not a buyer for $13 a pack. We opened an ETB. I did pull, and I opened 1 pack. My wife opened 2, and then I gave my kids 3 each. I opened the Master Ball Riolu. I was pumped. I was pumped to pull the Master Ball Riolu because my son's favorite Pokemon is Lucario. So I sleeved it up. My son popped it in his binder. He was excited. He pulled a couple, not like the SIRs, but he pulled some of the, I forget which evolution he pulled. We actually looked at the poster. I gave my kids each a poster and a binder. And I said, I asked them, I'm like, what's your hit? What's your chase in this set? He always asked me what's the most expensive card, and I'm like, Umbreon. But he wanted the Flareon. He looked at all the cards. He wanted the Flareon. So I was rooting for him to pull the Flareon or the Umbreon. But like, I'm doing well financially, and I told my son, it's like, for the cost of this, because like Pokemon is not the only thing. I hope Pokemon is not the only thing in your life, not the only thing in my life. I'm like, hey son, we could go to Red Lobster for dinner for the same cost it just cost us to open 9 packs of a Pokemon set. And I actually, this reminds me, back when we had Pokeplumber Nick on the podcast, we actually talked about that. I asked my son that night, hey, you want to open a Surging Sparks ETB, an entire ETB at that time was around 130, 150, whatever it was. I'm like, hey son, do you want to open an entire booster box, not ETB, entire booster box of Surging Sparks, or do you want to go to Red Lobster for dinner? He picked the booster box of Surging Sparks because he knew we'd probably have pizza at home, or we'd have something good at home too. It's not like he'd go without eating. But it was just funny in that instance. But I told him, I'm like, 9 packs at 13 to 15 bucks a pack. We could go bowling, and we could go to a movie, and we could get McDonald's for dinner. Like, we could have an entire family day out on a Saturday. We could go bowling at noon, get some nachos at the bowling alley. We could go to a movie, go watch Moana 2 again because it was a good movie. And then we could go get Happy Meals on the way home. And soon Happy Meals will have booster packs in them again. Happy Meals, Pokemon's coming back. So, like, I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how so many consumers are willing to pay so much money. Because I'm personally not. I'm personally not willing to do that. Brad's getting riled up. Brad likes to pocket watch and this, that, the other thing, and he's like, oh, Brad's something else. Brad's something else at times. 1 Surging Sparks pack equals 1 Costco pizza. But yeah, I very much, where does Dan live? I live in upstate New York. So if you go on a weekday, if you go to a weekday morning movie, I can go watch $5 a ticket. $5 a ticket for the adults. I think it's 3 or 4 for the kids. And then a big popcorn and a couple big drinks. We can go watch a movie on a weekday morning for like 30, 35 bucks. Bowling. 4 and a 6-year-old, they're not going to go out and they're not going to bowl like 3 full games. You might get a couple games out of them where they're actually paying attention. McDonald's, like, probably, yeah, 130 bucks for sure. 130 bucks for sure. Rounding up, let's say the movie with everything, get crazy with the popcorn and the candy and the soda, you're at 50 bucks. McDonald's, a couple Happy Meals, meal for me, meal for the wife, like 30, 40 bucks, and then another 40 bucks to do a couple games of bowling. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Amplitude's questioning me. Last week, we had people questioning what I pay for car insurance. Or that was on PokeFlips, actually. But absolutely. To me, it's like the consumer has to have some point where they'll just tap out. And if they don't, then the prices just go up and up and up. And it is what it is. It's like $1,200 Evolving Skies box. I'm not a consumer of that. I'm not a consumer of almost anything I sell. Because to me, I don't value it at that. I value other things more than that, as far as a consumer, as far as the experience, as far as what you get out of it. So, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm past that collector boy Dan part of my journey, and I'm a net seller now. I buy a lot, but I'm selling it all. And that's perfectly fine. I appreciate you, Wish Nikki, for subscribing. Let me know if the volume was fine on that. I did do multiple private live streams to try to figure out if the audio was fine. But Snuffleupagus says printer go burr. I'm gonna start making my way through the chat, and I'm gonna try to like be good at staying up relatively close to where we're at. Is it investing if I sell the product I buy as an investment before it crashes? Yes. I've heard semantics, but like I've heard if you buy it with intent to make money, it's investing. I bought milk the other day grocery shopping and I wanted it to go up. It didn't go up, but like I invested in that milk, and I'm a true milk consumer though, so I'm just gonna open it and drink it because it didn't go up. So I tried investing in it, it didn't pan out, but at least I could consume it. Is grabbing cash considered scalping? It's all semantics. Hi Ponga. Ponga says he hates me. That's not very nice, Ponga. Is it time to panic? It's always time to panic. It's always time. Emotions, just always be emotional, reactionary. Don't take time to like breathe and think and logic and reason things out. Just always be on edge, always be reactionary. That's like that's my motto. Naturally, if you followed me for a long time, you know. I was actually late tonight. I apologize for that. Dan's watching the MetaZoo Whatnot stream too. I am not. However, a month or two ago, the day that I was watching Moana 2, I did buy. I do have another Kickstarter MetaZoo box. So someday maybe on Fanatics Live, someday maybe on eBay Live, there will be a MetaZoo stream. We'll see. Slick Daddy says, I just bought 4 cases of PE ETBs this morning. Am I cooked? Depends on what you're doing with them. I am selling mine, but I'm buying more to immediately sell them. I would not advocate. So I had allocated to me 180 ETBs at $30 a piece through my distributors. They're all gone. I didn't break down 10 cases, so only 80 of them were broken down today, but they're all essentially gone. I could list them on eBay at market and they'd be gone overnight. I haven't yet done that. I want some amount long term, but I'm not a buyer. I'm not a buyer at these prices. I'm a buyer at 70 to 80% of these prices to immediately sell at 100% of these prices. Crazy. Pony says JK. We got Ponga and L-Dubs cooking Walmart for those prismatic releases. Thoughts on people feeling entitled to product? You are entitled to nothing. If you are like me in the United States, you are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If you say, Dan, Pokemon cards make me happy, Prismatic Evolutions makes me happy, you are entitled to the pursuit of happiness, not happiness. You are entitled to the pursuit of shiny cardboard in Prismatic Evolutions. So as an American, as a fellow American, you are entitled to the pursuit of Prismatic Evolutions. You are not entitled to Prismatic Evolutions, though. I didn't write it. I just read it. Wise men hundreds of years ago wrote that. How much did everyone get off Walmart? I got nothing. Neo Cards and Comics, nice to see you in here. Actual sealed investors were not buying at current price. Some are. I'm not buying. Appreciate you, Pixel Katana, becoming a member. But I genuinely don't know. Some amount of people, I actually said this in last week's video. I am a business. I do not pay sales tax when I buy on eBay. I do not pay sales tax when I buy on TCG Player or anything like that. I have my outlets. I have my way to get rid of product. There are 100%. I don't know what level. I don't know what percentage. Some amount of people buying $150 ETBs of Prismatic are investing at not 100% of market, at 110% of market, because they don't have a sales tax exemption, because they don't have a business, because they are trying to make money, yet they're doing it wrong. They're doing it like shady way, not the right way per the IRS, not the right way of intending to make money, intending for resale. Like, please do things above board. Please do things as a business if you're trying to make money. If you're trying to make money, you are defined by the IRS as a business, sole proprietorship by default if you're not an LLC, S corporation, whatever. and it will benefit you. I promise you, it will benefit you if you do things as a business when you're actually trying to make money. But a lot of people don't, though. A lot of people just try to buy stuff at full market plus 10%. And I know because I was here 4 years ago. I was here 4 years ago. I sold PSA 9 Shadowless Charizard for over $10,000, $15,000, I believe. I sold a PSA 9 Shadowless Hollow set to an investor. I know they were an investor because I talked to them. They asked me how good of an investment I thought it was. And I was honest. I said, I'm selling them. That was the whole thing I said to him. I said, I'm selling them. How good of an investment do you think this $1,000? And that same guy who bought my PSA 9 Shadowless Hollow set for $30,000, the Charizard was $15,000. The Blastoise peaked at like $9,000. So I didn't even sell it at the peak. I missed the peak on the PSA 9 Shadowless Hollow set. They were investing, and I know some amount of the $1,000 Evolutions boxes I sold years ago, and they're almost back there now. So they're finally breaking even. They were sold to investors, and I know that some amount of the $300 Hidden Fates ETBs I sold years ago, they were sold to investors. Not all of them. Not all of them. A lot of them are going to breakers. A lot of them are going to businesses. A lot of them are going to consumers. But some. What percent? No idea. We've been here before. We have absolutely been here before. So I wanted to say that, actually. Let me pull this up. Oh no, I don't know if I have this set up or not. Do I have this set up? Okay. I'm not showing my messy desk at least. But we've been here before. We have been here before. So this statement that was made, deja vu. Deja vu all over again. I pulled up the Wayback Machine. So the first time it was posted, so this is their live webpage. It's support.pokemon.com, and it's talking about update on Pokemon trading card game product availability. If you're new here, this statement was not new. This statement was not unique. They put Prismatic Evolution there. They put Prismatic Evolution in the text. But this is the Wayback Machine. For anyone who's unfamiliar, the Wayback Machine captures old versions of web pages. And if you can see right here on the top right, I'm on March 4th, 2021, during the pandemic. 25 minutes ago, on March 4th, 2021, when this snapshot was taken, we're aware that some of you are experiencing difficulties purchasing certain Pokemon trading card game products due to very high demand and global shipping constraints. So here, it was global shipping constraints. They changed it a little bit. They updated it. Yeah, they don't mention global shipping constraints anymore. But so they've updated it some. But this was March 4th, 2021. This was April 1st, 2022, 6 hours ago. So they reposted it on April 1st, 2022. March 31st, 2023, 14 hours ago. So maybe March 30th, 2023. And then here's January 27th, 2024, which if you do the quick math, is approximately 9 months after the last post. So between March 31st and January 27th, 2024, they hadn't reposted it. They hadn't reposted it at all. But then go to September 1st, 2024, and it's showing 7 months ago. So sometime in February or so of 2024, they posted it again. I don't remember. My memory is not amazing. My memory is not amazing. I don't remember exactly when and what sets were coming out and what sets were high and what sets were low and all the other things. But let me just make sure that was okay. I don't know if my alerts will show right if I'm on the other camera, but I'll be on this camera most of the time anyways. But we've been here before. They have posted the same or a similar statement 5+ times. I just showed you on the Wayback Machine. The support page is still live. They re-up it every so often. Maybe you could go to each one of those dates that I just said. Maybe you could go to the Wayback Machine and maybe someone's already doing this. Maybe a week after, a month after, 3 months after, I don't know. Maybe every time some duration after that post was made, they dropped product again massively. I don't know. So I said the dates: February 2024, March 2023, April 2022, and March 2021. Someone go back. Someone look at all their distributor invoices. Someone look at all their bot pings from different websites. Maybe we can crowdsource people going through and finding out exactly what happened on each of those dates. Maybe we do have a massive product dump coming. My thumbnail and title was mostly just like to get people in here. people aren't going to come in and listen if they don't get that emotion riled up a little bit. If they don't like, hey, this guy's saying that I'm an investor. This guy's saying that investors are going to be ruined. I need to click on this and find out what's up. Prismatic Evolution crash? Is it going to crash? I want to buy a bunch. I need to click on this and see what this guy's saying. Maybe he's going to tell me I'm going to be able to buy it. But yeah, let me Ponga's giving us a couple updates right here. So Ponga's saying, appreciate you, Ponga. November 2021 was when Celebrations, Chilling, Evolving, and Fusion all hit. The first one, it was 7 months to get all the products. So time is a circle, absolutely. Same article since Champions Path. I remember Champions Path release, $100 ETBs, $100+ ETBs, Hidden Fates. Like, we've done all this before. And I was actually just having a conversation. I'm not gonna throw names out there because I know they'll be. They didn't actually say this, so I'm not gonna throw their names in there. In voice chat earlier, in the Pokenomics Discord paywall office hours that I do every week. If you want to join, click my link tree below. I do have a $10 a month Patreon where we go deep, market dives, all kinds of data, all different kinds of things. You have access to me for an additional hour every week in a smaller setting. We have 217 people watching right now. In my office hours earlier, we had like 8 people. So yeah, a little bit more one-on-one setting, not entirely one-on-one, 1-on-8, 1v8 instead of 1v220. But anyways, we were talking about how, remember when people were making the comparison, and I've made comparisons between Surging and Vivid. Pikachu's on both ETBs, both have a big Pikachu chase, both went crazy out of the gate, and I think it will follow. I'm not saying it's going to match 1-for-1 forever, but I think Surging will continue to do a lot of what Vivid did. I think Surging will get hit hard with the reprints. I think it's in a lot of ways not as good of a set as people were making it out to be because we're just in a manic period. We're in a crazy boom period. So I think that'll cool off a lot. I think there's a good chance Surging Sparks will crash. Saying crash is such a silly thing because, like, historically speaking, most boxes come out at 100. Most ETBs come out at 40 to 50. So, like, crashing to being 20% above where it historically would be at this point in its release. Surging Sparks, out of the 100+ sets that have released in Pokemon's history, most of them are $40 to $50 ETBs, and most of them are $100 booster boxes. 3 months after release, 2 months after release, where Surging is. So I think Surging is gonna crash 50% down to 120 to 130. Will it? Like, I could be wrong. Every time you say something like that, people get really defensive. Oh no, distributors are just gonna offer it. They might. Distributors might offer it at 180, and I would buy it. If it was a small amount at 180, I would buy a little bit more. If it was a small amount at 150, I would buy a little bit more. If it was a bunch at 120, I would buy a bunch. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to be, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. But it might not come too. Nobody knows entirely. But I truly think that, yeah, where I was going to go with that is, people don't like the comparison between Surging and Vivid. We made a better comparison earlier. We made a scary comparison earlier. Some people will be really scared about this one. And do I think it's going to match it entirely? No. Is Prismatic Evolutions Shining Fates 2.0? Question mark. I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying it is. There's an EV promo in the ETB. Comparisons, fair comparisons could be made. It's hype out of the gate. It's $100+ out of the gate. Will it be in 3 years, $50? I promise you it could be. People think it can't be. People will shake in their boots at the sounds of those words coming out of my mouth. They'll say, Dan's wrong. This guy's dumb. This stuff only goes up. It can't go down. It's scary what some of the things people will say. It is so scary. People think that Surging can't go back under 100. I fell victim to this over a year ago. 2 years ago, I forget when it was. People said, like, hey, with Scarlet Violet being out at a new higher price, we might never see sub $100 booster boxes again. And I said, I kind of agree. I'm not sure if we will. I promise you we will again. I promise you that we will see sub $100 booster boxes again. Maybe it won't be Surging. Maybe it won't be Journey Together. Maybe it won't be Team Rocket. But we will see more of them in the future. And Prismatic, like, again, if you're the truest of true collectors out there and you don't want to pay 13 and it's not worth 13 to you, don't pay it. I'm confident. I'm less confident in this, but I'm quite confident still I'm quite confident that you will be able to buy packs of Prismatic for $5 to $6 a piece. But just like my kids, when my daughter and my son are playing with a toy, and earlier today or yesterday, I lose track of time. I think it was earlier today. They were fighting over a Lego guy. There was a Lego guy and a Lego girl, but they both wanted the Lego guy with the skateboard so that they could skateboard him on the ramp. Speaking of skateboards, shout out to Steven. Got me this Quaxley finger skateboard, kind of like the old Tech Decks from back when I was younger. Sent this to me. Very much appreciate you. But anyways, I digress. Just like how my kids were fighting over that Lego minifigure, and for 10 minutes, that Lego minifigure was the most important thing in the world. And they were both crying and screaming a little bit. That's what the market is right now. I see this market, and I see my kids, and I see Prismatic Evolutions, and I see that little Lego minifigure guy. And it's like, hey, daughter, when son puts it down, when your brother puts it down, then you can play with it. You can only play with it one at a time. Then she doesn't want it. When he doesn't want it anymore, she doesn't want it anymore. In a year, in 18 months, in 24 months, when Prismatic is $6 a pack or less, we'll be on Journey together. We'll be on, like, we'll be so far. We'll be 10 sets down the line, and people won't want it anymore. You only want it at 13 now because you can't have it because everyone wants it. And it's like, be patient. Be patient. It will come around, but it'll likely come around when you don't want it as much. You won't want it as much because you can have it. People just need to get over this thing. Like, you need to have, like, impatience is such an expensive character trait. In life, you will be punished financially forever for your impatience. Pokemon is not unique in punishing impatience financially. The first PSA 10s out of the gate go way high, and then they come down almost every time. The sets come out high and hype and hot. Surging, 240. Prismatic, 130 in ETB, 150 in ETB. They're gonna come down. Not every single one, not every single time. You could point back and you could say, well, this set didn't come down. This set didn't come down. Most of them do. Patience, most times, will pay off. There's a time or two that it won't. And then you just go back and you spend a little bit more money if you still want it. But a year from now, you probably won't want Prismatic Evolutions as much. And I promise you that you will survive without Prismatic Evolutions. But your whole life, if you have to have it when it's brand new and everyone else is hype about it, the new restaurant opens and the waits are 3 hours. Like, I want to go to this restaurant. There was one in my hometown when I grew up, and I shouldn't have to wait more than 30 minutes. That's the way that things go. I remember back in college. When a new, what was it? What was the, I'm going to look up the city that I went to college. I can't remember what the fast food place was that opened. I think it was a new Sonic. I think a new Sonic got put in. At one point, a new Sonic got put in. And then at another point, a different one. Popeye, maybe it was, yeah, it was Popeyes. There was a Popeyes that got put in when I was there. And people just, like, had to have that new chicken sandwich. And it's like, it's going to be the same thing in 6 months. I'll just go then. People are crazy. People are crazy. They got to be doing what everyone else online is doing. They got to be able to tweet and TikTok and they got to do the thing that everyone's doing, because before long, people will be on to the next thing. And then it'll be lame. It'll be too late. It'll be like, that's just it's all crazy to me. It's all crazy to me. I'm going to stop that rant now, and I'm going to try to get back to chat and see where we go. Sfeel AR will be over 100 in PSA 10 forever. The market behaves like children. The market behaves like ridiculous, entitled children. And like ridiculous, entitled children, 6 months to a year from now, in the case of my children with the Lego minifigure, 30 minutes, an hour from now, they will have forgotten. They will be on to the next thing. Or instead of fighting over the Lego minifigure, they'll be fighting over the Pokemon Squishmallow or whatever it may be. They'll be fighting over who gets what Pokemon binder. It's like, it's always something. It's always something. If White Castle ever comes to Texas, it's over for MSRP on sliders. Will Team Rocket be a $500 booster box? on release. I doubt it. I would doubt that highly. 500 is a big, big number. Pokey Chef says, can you rewind and turn the lights red? That was fairly red light. I probably should have had the lights red for that one. I think we're going to get more red light as the night goes. I will pivot into red lights if and when it's needed. Trust me. Sebastian says, Rev has been opening packs for the last 6 hours. Pull rates are the hardest I've ever seen. The set price isn't going down very much. The single chase cards will be expensive. We'll see how much they print. A lot of it comes down to how much they print. Are you ready for Contractor Retreat? When are we going to do the Catch 'em All Collectibles Independent Contractor Retreat of 2025? Sky is ready. The moral grandstanding that is happening in the hobby right now is insane. The collector versus investor war is raging again. And we go through cycles. We go through cycles. It's deja vu. It's Groundhog's Day all over again. The amount of virtue signaling going on. It's so wild. It's so wild. How much is Dan charging for Prismatic? Brad's ready to turn into a Karen and cry about it. Best set is the next set always. That's super goated. Manga says 25 a pack. We won't be at 25 a pack. So if market price holds, as of right now, we will be like, what did I say it was going to be, Panga? I forget. I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet that I give to the guys for pricing things. So as of right now, with packs being, with ETBs being 130 a piece, we are going to be at 1488 a pack. We're going to be at about 15 a pack. Gotta make a little money. Gotta pay the streamers. And it's like, oh, well, you only paid 3. Yeah, but I only got like a week's worth of packs. And I'm buying them for 8, 9, 10 actively as well. So it is what it is. Buy or don't buy. Perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine with people not buying from me. Realistically, what's the soonest a Prismatic reprint can hit? The set hasn't come out yet. The print hasn't hit. Why are we talking about reprints hitting when the print hasn't hit? It's so crazy to me what is going on in this market right now. We're talking about reprints, and I know it's Pokemon talking about it too, but it's like the print hasn't hit, and we're talking about reprints. Like, there are built-in products coming out down the line. Booster bundles are coming. Whatever else is coming down the line, kind of like some of the old specialty sets years ago that they did, celebrations, whatever it may be. So more are coming, but it's like, I don't know. The market just loses its minds. People lose their minds. Like, if you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. If you have it and you think it's going to go down, then sell it. Like, do whatever you want to do. And I know I'm a guy yelling at people on YouTube, telling people to calm down and stop yelling and stop going crazy about it. But it's just crazy. Like, I am in this. I need to buy and sell this stuff to, like, make money, pay my people, my independent contractors, and I don't think about all this stuff as much as it seems many people do. It's not that fun to me. It's not that entertaining to me. This is fun and entertaining. The live chats are fun and entertaining. But as far as, like, the amount of thought that goes into, I just more day by day, I see what's coming. I buy it. I sell it. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, like practice vibes on that one, huh, Basic? You talking about practice? Where am I now? Red Lobster's not me, Pokey Chef. That's my son. I'm like, I can make better crab legs at home, and I can throw in a bunch of other stuff, and we can do Dungeness, and we can do all kinds of stuff. Way cheaper. We can do it more often. Use boosters to pay for a night out at the brewery. Where I live, stuff's cheaper. I live in New York, which is an expensive state, but I live in a cheap county in an expensive state. The ETB might go up. Like, in a month, I don't know. The ETB could be 200. It could be 300. It could be 80. I have no clue. People make it sound like, and this is going back to the print versus reprint, some amount is being held up. So let's go back last year. Let's time travel last year. I know a lot of people here weren't here last year. Let's time travel to last year. Japanese 151. It was 100 something bucks. They announced the reprint. It came through all the channels. It came through all the Japanese resellers, scalpers, whatever you want to call them. And without the reprint actually hitting, just news of the reprint hitting, people lowered their prices 10, 20, 30 bucks a box over the coming days and weeks. Because a lot of product is being tied up. A lot of product is being tied up by the scalpers, the speculators, the investors, the distributors themselves. Appreciate you, ESP Kev, for joining a membership there. But so with that news coming out today, like I'm not certain. We only live in the one reality we're in. We can't see where the alternate reality goes at the fork in the road. But like, say Pokemon didn't announce that today. Say Pokemon didn't come out with that announcement. The price could be different a little bit. That could have scared a couple people that otherwise would have invested in the Prismatic Evolutions ETBs and held them for 200. Like right now, there's 26 listings from 125 to 25. You think there's not at least one person on that list that didn't list their stuff and undercut more than they would have if that announcement hadn't come? I think that's a reasonable assumption. So say a month or two from now, and we don't know for sure. We don't know for sure that Pokemon actually sent everything to distribution. Historically speaking, they would send out like a wave to distribution, and then things would be available for reorder. We haven't been like that in years now, to be fair. It's been a long time since we've been like that. But that's the way it used to work. Pokemon would send out the initial waves of what everyone requested. They would get it. All the sets would just be available for like a couple years. Most every set for the first, well, not for the first 3 years of Pokemon, but between 2002 and 2019, most sets most of the time were available for 2 years. And things are just different now because so many people are just buying out their allocation, sitting on it, waiting for it to age, and then selling it into the market then. But if Pokemon is printing a large enough reprint and Pokemon scares enough people, if some people start losing some money speculating and investing, more product could come out than you would expect, is what I think. That's my thoughts. Neocards and Comics says, what is the difference between a sealed collector and a sealed investor? Largely semantics. Semantics and nuance and gray area is important, but like I'm using the I word now. I never used to use the I word. I never used to say investing. I used to say speculating. To me, what investing means, I invest in my S&P 500 index funds, in my 401ks and IRAs. To me, investing means holding for 10, 20, 30, 50 years plus. I only invest in my tax advantage accounts, traditional investment. To me, I used to use the word speculating. It's longer. People get mad at me saying that you're definitely investing. More what I'm doing on the pallet with my dad. That's more investing. That's still only 6 years though. And I'm just going to sell all that in my live streams after 6 years and probably make crazy money more than I should. But yeah, the difference between a sealed collector and a sealed investor, investors might do it at a higher scale. Collector might do it one of each item because they just want one of each item. An investor would be more likely to have by the cases. Maybe we have multiple cases of each. That's my definition. Everyone can have their own definition though. Yeah, it is what it is. Everyone sells at some point. That is true. Well, unless you're a consumer. Unless you're a consumer and you just open it all. Some people do never sell. They eventually pass on and then things get thrown away or handed down or whatever. They move away to college 20 years ago and their mom throws it away. Andrea says, hey Dan, would you say that a big Pokemon reprint or printing of Pokemon stock would crash the market way too early, considering that 30th anniversary is around the corner? There is an amount of Pokemon that they could release in 2025 that would crash the market. Calling crashing, like Surging Sparks coming to 120. Obsidian, Paradox, Temporal, all those sets coming back to 100 to 120. If we're going to call that a crash, absolutely a crash could happen in 2025. Do I think it will? I don't know. Maybe. I think it will on at least a few sets. I think Surging is the most likely to crash of all sets. That's such an obvious thing to say, though. It's the most recent one, and it's the most expensive of the Scarlet and Violet block. So it's like, that's a no-brainer. But even how much of a no-brainer it is, the most recent, most expensive, they might not reprint it, and it might never go down. That's what we're dealing with. We're all speculating. We don't know exactly. That's where, to me, investing is like, you look at a company's balance sheet, you look at their PE ratio, You have like objective, fundamental things to look at, intrinsic values, things that you can base things on, and you can make like a calculated investment decision in those things. Here, we're all just speculating. We don't know. We genuinely don't know. People are very confident that everything goes up, line goes up, we're all gonna make money, we're all gonna be rich, it can only go up. People don't know. Sleeve no card behind says now is a great time to reflect on your collecting goals and ask yourself if why you want prismatics. Yeah, always you should be very conscious in your spending. You should be conscious in your spending, in your investing, whatever you're doing. Like my whole channel, people that have followed me for going on 4 years now, my whole channel is about like conscious spending, make value determinations. Do you value the experience? Like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, this weekend on Fanatics Live, PK or Ponga will be live, ripping prismatic packs, likely for $12 to $15 a pack. I would not be a consumer of that. I opened 9 packs with my family, and that felt crazy. That was so expensive. I did not get $130 of value out of it. I would have had a way better time going bowling, going to the movies, going to dinner. I would have had a way better time. And obviously, you could say, oh, well, Dan, going to the movies, you couldn't have made money. Going to dinner, you couldn't have made money. That's fair. Because, like, there's a chance that one of us could have pulled however many $100 card, the Umbra on it. There's a chance that we could have, like, made money. But, and maybe we did. I don't think we did because we didn't pull any IRs. We pulled the Riolu Master Ball. But, like, still, in spite of the fact that I could have made money, theoretically, I did not value that anywhere near $130. I did it because I have a lot of them. I did it because I'm just free rolling a bunch of money in Pokemon. And I've told my kids a long time ago, like, we're just going to open a little bit of every set as they come out, and you guys can build your binders and you can have fun with it. But I told them, like, we need to have limits. We need to have limits. You can't just rip. I actually told my son about this. Next weekend on Fanatics Live, we're ripping this. I told my son I bought a $17,500 booster box of Pokemon cards. He said, base set? He knows what base set is. He knows it's expensive. He's like, Dad, can I open that base set? No, you can't, son, because I'm going to sell it to a bunch of degenerates, to be frank. Like, and I'm a degenerate. I'm not calling that in a derogatory fashion. I've bought into these base breaks. I used to buy and open these myself personally. I've bought into a base set first edition break. I bought a base set first edition, Shadowless, an unlimited pack. I flew to Las Vegas with my friend Nick, old school Pokemon, who also bought one. We spent 20 grand between the two of us to open a base, Shadowless, first edition, and an unlimited pack each. I'm a degen. I'm a gambler. I'm just more reformed. I'm more like trying to stay clean. And I'm offering that opportunity to other people. But, like, please, don't buy this as an investment. You will almost definitely lose money. 36 people, maybe less than 36, because maybe some will buy more than one pack. 36 packs will be opened. Statistically speaking, maybe one will make money. But there's a 75% chance that there's a Charizard in there because there's 15 hollows and you're gonna pull 12 of them. But statistically speaking, like, one person is probably expected to make money. 35 people will lose money, likely. Maybe you can pull 2 Charizards, you could pull a Blastoise, you could grade a PSA 10. Maybe 2 or 3 people could make money. 30 plus people will lose money. Most people this weekend on Whatnot with Shining Cards and Collectibles, on eBay with old school Pokemon, with Weedle's Warehouse, on Fanatics with Catch 'em All Collectibles, most people will lose money. I want you there. If you want to be there, if you want to hang out, if you want to have fun, if you want to gamble a little bit, be entertained, come hang out. It'll be a good time. But please don't buy it as an investment. Please don't try and buy it thinking you're going to make money or thinking you should make money. And if people want to call that a scam, some people do. Like, I know Brad's just memeing, but, like, some people think it's a scam to auction packs that I paid nearly $500 a piece for. I'm going to $1 auction every pack. The market will do what the market does. We'll see where it all goes. But, like, for people to get offended by that, it's like the dude bought an $17,500 booster box. I don't want to be that guy that rounds up and uses false numbers. I paid $17,500 for this, which works out to just under $500 a pack. And I'm going to $1 auction 36 packs in a row in one night. And we'll see what it does. I might make money. I might make thousands of dollars. I might lose thousands of dollars. I genuinely don't know. But we'll see what happens. If you want to be there, if you want to hang out, if you want to gamble, if you want to be entertained, and you got the money to do it, come hang out, buy a pack. If not, perfectly fine. Like perfectly fine. I will not be offended. I will not be mad at you. You will not lose my friendship if we're friends. Same thing goes with the Prismatic. Same thing goes with everything. Like I am priced out of most of this stuff as a consumer, and it's fair for you to be too. Someday, and not everyone says it. A lot of people say it. A lot of people say it. If it all goes to zero, I would buy it all and I would open it all. Most people that say that are full of crap. Most people that say that will be gone, long gone, if it goes to zero before it gets there. Yeah, that's just where I stand on all that. If and when it comes around, if and when it gets cheaper. But like, I've opened, like when Surgeon came out, we didn't open as much either. But back when Paradox came out, back when a lot of these sets came out that were $90, $100, we were more likely to open a box or two. We were more likely to open more product when it was cheaper, which is the way it should be. You should want to consume more when it's cheaper and consume less when it's more expensive. Like, oh, well, that set sucks and this set's good. People are so fickle. People are so fickle. Every set's the best set when it comes out, except some, not all of them. Not all of them get the same hype. But, and then it's like, remember how Scarlet and Violet was trash for the first year and a half, and all the sets were sub 100, and now they're like all 150 because people are just losing their minds. Price goes up, so price goes up. Crazy. A Popeyes opened here, and there were cars lined up in the street for a couple of weeks. There's no blood on the streets right now. Right now, there's a lot of greed, a lot of investing, a lot of speculating, a lot of absurdity going on. Zach says, share your skincare routine. What kind of beard grooming kit do you use? So I don't grow a beard. I'm too lazy to shave. Like, I don't make the conscious decision that I want to grow a beard. I make the conscious decision that I don't like shaving. I just don't shave. I use Suave for men. It's either 2-in-1. I think it's 2-in-1. Conditioning. No, it's shampoo, body wash. I use Suave 2-in-1 everywhere. That's it. There's no special oils. There's no special nothing. My routine is like the quickest, cheapest, just most straightforward way to not stink. That's like what my goal is. To look semi-presentable and not stink as quickly and efficiently as possible. I don't have anything above and beyond that I do. I hate shaving. I was a channel meme. People are gonna be like, oh, you were an engineer? That surprises me. I used to be a chemical engineer for 10 years. For 10 years, I had to be clean shaven every day. Don't tell them. I only shaved like 2 or 3 times a week. I didn't think I could grow a beard like this, to be honest, for 10 years. I had to wear a respirator at work. I had to wear a full face respirator. So I could have theoretically had a mustache, but I had to wear a respirator every day. I had to be clean shaven every day for 10 years. I just don't want to shave anymore. So that's why I have a beard, because not because I'm trying to grow one, because I don't like shaving. What's your thought on James saying the quiet part out loud? James was memeing. James was memeing that this stuff is all cheap. I think it's obvious to anyone that followed him. Some people that watched it probably don't know that context of who he is and his comedy style or whatever, his sense of humor. But anyways, Trades Welcome says, you're thinking too rationally. The vast majority of consumers are impulsive. There's a reason sports betting apps have grown thousands of percent in a few years. Yeah, huge. What's better for investment, Pokemon cards or gold and silver? I own a little bit of all three. I own way more Pokemon cards. I know a lot more about Pokemon cards, so I like investing in Pokemon cards more than gold or silver. President Whale Cabal says, Dan for president. We would all be in a lot of trouble. Appreciate you, Arthur, for subscribing. First Amendment says that I can say I'm entitled to the shiny cardboard. You are free to say that, but you are free to be incorrect about whatever you want to be. And you would be incorrect that you're entitled to shiny cardboard. MJ Hokage, I believe that's a Naruto reference. I have a resale certificate in Cali, but how do I use it on TCG Player and eBay? So you look up, go on Google. And, well, TCG Player is tough. I don't think they're taking new reseller certificates. eBay, look up eBay reseller certificate upload or whatever. Oh man. Oh no. I appreciate you, Zach. That is way too kind. 50 memberships. I'm gonna lower the volume a little bit while we watch the lawnmower drive by 50 times. I spent 30 minutes again tonight trying to make it so it doesn't drive 30 times. I tried to make it so that the lawnmower would drive one time or 50 gifted, but it does this 150 times. I apologize. But I thank you. Gem Mint with the 50. I appreciate you very much. Where are we now? Oh no, I need to speed up. Remember when no one wanted Chilling Rain for 85? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, ESP Kev, this is the way. Wait 6 to 12 months, see if it's cheaper. If it's not, on to the next thing. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. People like it when it drives. Some people like it when it drives 50 times. Some people don't like it when it drives 50 times. How many pack rips / auctions do you aim for per stream? Asking for Ponga. I aim for them to do whatever they want to do. If they only have the ability to stream a couple hours in a given night, maybe someday there will be a third or a fourth streamer that could pick up some additional nights. They can all coordinate together and they can figure out who's going to go live when. But as of right now, Ponga and PK are crushing it. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier with their initiative, their drive to stream a lot, put a lot of hours in. But the bigger the number, the better. I want to do, and we have done 100K every month since we started. And we're on pace for over 1.2 million this year. I mean, over 1.5 million if trends continue. If I do a third streamer, maybe 2 million, who knows? So if you do the math, like if we want to sell 2 million in a year, we got to do almost 6K a day. And I think that's a reasonable, starting with the box breaks. This will be, if this is not a $20,000 night, I'm going to be destroyed. If this is not a $30,000 night, I'll be in rough shape too, because I'm going to do this box. Plus I've got a box over there of a lot of goodies, a lot of goodies that I think people will be excited to see at $1 auctions. Everything will be $1 auctions. But yeah, Ponga, I'm going to pull up his number. Ponga Inbox Nostalgia says, I don't say anything nice about him. I do say things nice about him. He's a very handsome young man, and I'm happy to have him as my streamer. He's a very kind guy. What a gentleman. And he sold $8,693 on Sunday night. He sold that in 5 hours and 41 minutes. So there you go, Ponga. There's all your praises. You're crushing it. You're doing a great job. I've said it many times. You said that I never do. But there you go. There's all your praises in one go. Keep up with it. My mower needs gas. Let's see. Who's my favorite evolution? I like that. So Gem Mint Pokemon just gifted us 50 subs. His favorite is Jolteon. I think my favorite's also Jolteon. That jungle card is beautiful. Going back to the games, like, I don't know who I used to go for first. In my yellow version that's up there, I had all three. I had people who played. They got me extra EVs, traded them to me, and I had it where I had all three. But I think Jolteon would be my favorite. What's your speculation on the increase in demand prices in the hobby? Could it be people from COVID boom have been waiting for the time to make plays since we saw how it went for Sword Shield? Prices going up, so prices going up. People are getting manic. People are getting irrationally exuberant, I would say. At some point, things will come back, but will things only retrace 20 to 30% after they double again? That could be the case. So like today, we could be in a situation where today's prices are the cheapest they'll be for the next decade. I don't think that will be the case, but it could be the case. Things could double, and then they could drop 30%, which means they'd still be 40% above where they are today. Very quick math, right? 100% doubling, 200%, minus 30%, 140%. So you never know, though. You never know. I don't know. You don't know. Your favorite YouTuber doesn't know. Your least favorite YouTuber doesn't know. So yeah. Do you pay sales tax on shipping supplies, or is that tax exempt if you have a reseller certificate? I believe, I mean, it could vary by state. It could vary by location. That's more of a CPA question. That's more of an accountant question. Quick Google would probably tell you that too. The hype is too much for me. I'm happy playing divorced dads. I've heard of that before. I have no idea what that is exactly or how much it costs. Pokemon's response is too little too late. They've been saying it for 5 years. So like they've said it. It's worked for a week or two or 6 months or a year. And then it's stopped working and the ebbs and the flows. The ebbs and the flows. Let's see. Mackie Jack is going to buy up all the reprints. Don't worry, scalpers. I'll save your investment. Reprint can't hit before the release. ESP Kev hopes all the scalper flippers go broke with Prismatic and Journey once it's reprinted so that when Rocket comes out, everyone else has a chance. It could happen. Pokey Brian made a video where he speculated. I won't spoil the whole thing. Go watch Brian's video. He speculated that there's a chance that if it's not Journey Together, it could be Rocket. If it's not Rocket, it'll be eventually. It's almost inevitable. It'll eventually be the case where everyone orders 10 times what they want, and then one time Pokemon opens the floodgates, and they're like, okay, you want 1,000 booster boxes? You want 1,000 ETBs? Well, here they are. And then it's either pay it or don't pay it and get banned by your distributor or whatever, or your allocations crippled by your distributor. I think that's inevitable too. I think that'll happen on a long enough timeline. That'll happen eventually. Let's see. Seeing all this hype around Prismatic has made me happy to scoop Sword Shield products for 70% of market as people FOMO out of it. Evo Skies for 14 after breaking down product. Yes, please. Yeah, absolutely. There's always something to buy. If you're investing, speculating, collecting, whatever you're doing, there's always something to buy. And generally speaking, if everyone's talking about it, if everyone's losing their minds over it, that's probably not the one. I am in a different situation where I have a live stream running every night on Fanatics Collect. If you want to join that, if you're not on Fanatics Collect, join below. If one of my mods can link my referral link for the Fanatics Live platform. If you want Prismatic for free, you pay $4.95 shipping. You can get Prismatic this weekend on Fanatics. Use code Ketchum20 on your first buy it now order. You save 20 bucks off, and use the $25 credit that you get for signing up through the affiliate link below. Someone's gonna drop it in the chat hopefully, and you can get $50 of Prismatic for $5. Not quite free because you have to pay shipping, but you can get 50 bucks of Prismatic for $5 if you sign up for Fanatics. That's a way to get it. That's a way to get it. A little bit of it, not a lot of it, but a little bit of it for cheaper. Actually, PK Ponga, if you are listening, that's one thing that I hadn't thought about. We should probably put in, unfortunately, it's only going to be like, it's going to be like 2 packs for 25, or it might even be, yeah, I don't know what it's going to be exactly, but whatever it works out to, we should put in a buy it now for Prismatic for the $20 and then $25 for people using their codes and using their credits. But there's always something out there. Whether you're consuming for entertainment, whether you're gambling, there's always something out there. Just saw on Discord that the Umbi Master Ball sold for 2K and whatnot. I mean, crazy numbers out of the gate always. Mackie Jack is ready to tackle people at Costco for an opportunity to sniff a Prismatic pack. Pokemoo says Prismatic ETBs are going to be scarce going forward. We see it in all the previous sets, including 151. The ETB reprints are far and few. They will just make bundles and OGS products most likely. They will do that until they don't. So things are a trend and they work until they stop working. So I don't see anybody helping me out in the chat. So I'm going to go find my link quick. And I'm going to get that posted and pinned in chat quick. I think, yes. So I have it there. I'm going to post that. Why is it not posted? There we go. Let me pin that too. I hope I'm not lagging. My thing's not letting me click and highlight. But yeah, the Fanatics link is there. If you have any interest in signing up and want to get 45 bucks worth of stuff for $5, that's there. Continuing on though, one thing I was gonna say is that there was a time during the XY, Sun and Moon, Sword Shield, early Sword Shield era, where like ETBs were the safer investment. They were the better investment because they never got reprinted until they did, and then they got reprinted heavily, and they were really bad for people for a long time. So like trends will work until they stop working, and then you gotta pivot, you gotta adjust. Like I've adjusted so many times in my 3.5, 4 years being full time. Well, 3.5 years being full time in Pokemon, 4 years on YouTube, and yeah, things will happen for as long as they do, and then things will entirely change. The eBay vault will go away. Troll and Toad Evil will go away, and then Troll and Toad Evil will come back. Crazy things, always changing. The beard is his source of power. Summertime, he will be weak. Glenn Howard says, your honesty and amazing information has always been a breath of fresh air. You are appreciated. Well, I appreciate that very much. I appreciate the kind words. I say we hold him down and shave it. Oh, man. Did we talk about how Terrasta will be a $500 box 3 to 5 years after it's done printing yet? It could be. It absolutely could be. We did talk about that in Discord the other day. Appreciate you being here, Quadzilla. Quadzilla is very bullish. The crybabies on social media getting mad about selling ETBs for 120 are ridiculous. The market price caught up to a demand before release. That's it. Won't be a huge reprint. Yes, people, appreciate you, Ben Smith, for subscribing. People beg for MSRP only when it's to their benefit. The amount of sets in the past 18 months, 24 months that have been available, almost all of them, like what booster box hasn't been available for sub 110, sub 120? Evolving was for a while. Twilight might not have been for very long. Surging wasn't for very long, but I think Surging will be. I think Surging will be available for sub 120 at some point. I made the hot take. I made a prediction for 2025 that some sets will drop 50%. Prismatic, or sorry, not Prismatic. Well, Prismatic at this point being a likely one too, but Surging being the most likely candidate. I truly think that some will, and they won't cry when MSRP is 140 or 160. And when, I don't know why that light keeps turning off and on, but it's been doing it for a couple weeks now. When MSRP is 140 to 160 and wholesale is 85 to 90 and boxes are selling on eBay for 90 shipped, people don't complain about that. People don't say like, oh, hey, let me help you out here. I know times are tough. I know margins are thin. Let me pay you a little extra. The same people that cry about, oh my God, like I'm entitled to this, that, and the other thing at MSRP, they're the same people that when it's some MSRP and they're LGS, they're the people that they begged and got them to sell it for MSRP, whatever, that are virtue signaling for selling at MSRP, some small amount of product. The second they aren't the cheapest on the market anymore, they'll go to the P Football Pete. They'll go back to Amazon. They'll go back wherever. They're not loyal. They're not loyal to people. And Rusty actually made a video, his video recently. I talked about his video earlier. Rusty said he's put out the offer multiple times. If you want to get guaranteed every release of every product at MSRP, if you want that deal, Rusty, he's not going to do it right now because like you can't do it when the set is out, this triple MSRP. But he's made that offer multiple times. He's like, if you will commit, and maybe he would today, if you committed contractually to taking every set at MSRP for the next 5 years. But people won't do that. People won't do that because they know, appreciate you, Young Bambino, gifting 5 subs. People won't do that because they know that it's cheaper. And it would be a great video. I don't know that I'm going to take the time to go make this video. But if you made a video for the past 5 years, what would you be able to buy at release every box? Some boxes it's a lot. Some boxes it's a lot of money. But overall, you're doing better than buying everything at MSRP, almost certainly. But people will cry when they're not the beneficiary, and then when they're not, they won't feel bad for the stores. They won't whatever. It just is what it is. It's like I'm used to paying $100 for a booster box, so I want to do that forever. And if I can't, I'm gonna cry and scream about it. That's what people do. I think maybe I didn't skip anything. I might be fully caught up. What set is the Evolving Skies for the SV block? I don't know. Problem is, it's a main set, so you can't say like 151. You can't say Prismatic if you want to be true to it being a main set. Maybe it'll be Team Rocket. Who knows? Maybe it's Surging Sparks. Let's see. Patience is always rewarded in many things in life, but I'm bullish on live streaming because so many people are very impatient and willing to pay a premium to be impatient and get it right now. So yeah, I'm probably missing some comments. I'm doing my best. I'm currently only 25 minutes behind chat, which is a lot better than last night. Young Bambino wants the red lights on. Let me find the next spicy question where I get really worked up. I will turn it red. Is 151 part of the Pokemon announcement today? Will it also get a massive reprint? Jada Fresh, let me know. I don't mean to pick on you at all. Were you around last summer? Last summer, 151 was everywhere. 151 UPCs were shipped on eBay. Cases for under 400. There were times where Hills Wholesale Gaming had them for super cheap. Costco had them for months at like 80. Wholesale 72. Costco had them for 80. 10% over distro, not MSRP, over distro. The Blooming Waters collection is coming out soon. So like 151 has been around. 151 has been there. If you've missed it this many times over, what were you waiting for? What were you doing? If you're brand new to the hobby and you're coming out this week, look for Blooming Waters. Look for restocks on Blooming Waters at your Costco, at your Target, at your Walmart. Look at your LGS if they sell for MSRP, maybe if you've been a long, loyal customer. But I would truly ask, like, where have you been? Where have you been if you haven't gotten 151? It's been there. But when it was there and ready, people didn't want it as much because that's what happens. That's what happens. I don't know. Oh, Young Bambino said, turn the lights red so I can give some subs. The next time a question comes in that gets me going, I will try to remember to go red lights. 287 people watching live. This market's crazy. I appreciate everyone being here. Nuts. This is better than stocks. Pokemon legit told you they're going to crash the market. No amount of balance sheets will tell you that. They did not tell us they're going to crash the market. They told us they would do their best to print and make things accessible. And in the past, it's taken, Ponga said it took 7 months last time. We got Ivy. So shout out to Ivy. She's got an LGS in Vegas. TCG, I think it's called TCG, Trading Card Garage. She had 151 UPCs at 89 bucks. And people were probably buying them slower than they're buying them today at like 200 bucks or 200 whatever they are, 240 bucks. It's crazy. It's so crazy. People are so, demand is so fickle. People are so, they don't want it when they can have it, and they need to have it when they can't have it. That's just the way that it goes. I'm gonna pull up ESPN quick because I see that Grimer asked me. I'm not to it yet, but I'm gonna pull up the lines on all the games and I'm gonna give some NFL predictions. I went against the spread and over under. I went, what was it? I think I went 8 for 12 last weekend. I did pretty well. Maybe it was 9 for 12. I did really well last weekend with the NFL. I only bet 25, 50 bucks a game, so I made like 100 something bucks. I didn't make any crazy amount of money, but Power Up Card says my wife bought me a beard grooming kit for Christmas, and I've never had a beard in my life. I love her. Shampoo and body wash in one is diabolical. Why? Appreciate you, Hive Mind. And yeah, shout out to Hive Mind. So if you like when people sub, when people gift, when people do all that stuff, and the Fisher intro, all that stuff was Hive Mind Collectible. So if you're interested, if you are a streamer, if you are a business of some kind, and you want some editing done, if you want some like brand package built for you, shout out to Hive Mind Collectibles. He put mine together, and I'm a very, very happy customer. Appreciate you being here. Let me scroll back up to where I was. Holy, I am very far behind. I'm trying to catch up though. Yes, I quit my job as a chemical engineer to do Pokemon full time. Thoughts on celebrations? I like the set. It's a fun set to open. Those are my thoughts. Joey Back says I only answer super chats. So I do answer super chats quicker. If you want to cut to the front of the line, if you are impatient, I've been talking about how impatience is expensive. If you want your question answered immediately, I will answer it. If you super chat. If you want to wait and be patient, I will get to your question for free. Just leave it in the chat and I will get there. You only opened up 9 packs. Your dad doesn't really run a Pokemon business. The kid's at school. Oh, that's funny. You can hear my RuneLight idle notifications. That's actually hilarious. I may or may not have RuneLight on the other screen. I'm currently AFKing the King Black Dragon to try to get the King Black Dragon pet because it's entirely AFK. I look like Engels. I don't know what or who Engels is. I don't know if that's good or bad. This is not investing advice, just some blokes shooting the breeze. Absolutely. Speaking of sports betting, what's the lean for this weekend's game? So I'm going to quickly look. I was 8 or 9 for 12 on the wild card weekend. Divisional round. So Texans at the Chiefs, and it's Chiefs -8. I'm going to take the Chiefs -8, and I'm leaning on the over 41.5. Mahomes is the GOAT. He's going to be the Super Bowl winner and MVP this year, I believe. Lions Commanders, you got Detroit -9.5. 9.5 is a lot of points. I don't really like 9.5. Sometimes if a line is where I don't like it, I don't really like the Commanders plus 9.5. I might tease it. I might tease it to Lions -6.5. I like that a lot more. That won't pay the same, obviously, but I'd like the Lions winning. They're big favorites, so that's not like much of a leap, but that one's tough. I'll if I had to, I'd probably take Detroit -9.5, but I probably won't bet that way. I might do kind of a teaser thing, move the line a little bit. Rams Eagles, I like Rams plus 6.5. To be honest, I might take Rams straight up. Maybe it's because Ponga's out here streaming for me. Maybe I'm getting something for the Rams going, but I don't dislike the Eagles, but I like the Rams more than I like the Eagles. And then Ravens -1. I'm going to tease the Ravens -6.5. I might tease the Ravens -9.5. You heard it here first. The Bills are going down big. I'm a Jets fan. I am biased against the Bills, but the Bills are going down big. Josh Allen, he can't do it in the playoffs. And they could end up winning. Disclaimer, they could win, but then Mahomes will take him down the next weekend for sure. And I will bet that one heavy. I will bet that one heavy if it's Chiefs Bills again. I'll probably take the Ravens straight up for 50 or 100. I might take the Ravens straight up for 100, and then I might put another 50 to 100 on the Ravens -6.5, -9.5. We'll see though. Frederick Engels, the philosopher. I need to look this up now. Frederick Engels. My beard is not nearly as big. I don't know. Let me continue trying to get through the comments and not worry about who my doppelgangers are or aren't. Yes, TCG players currently not accepting new tax exemptions, which kind of sucks. I'm only 20 something minutes behind. eBay is super easy to submit your resale cert. Yes. Don't change the lawnmower. We want to see it go every time. I could leave it as long as the volume is not too intrusive. As long as when it's going 50 times, you can still hear me talking, then I'm fine with that too. Whatever. Zach is the GOAT for sure. What do you think of Japanese 151 booster box prices? So I've been buying and selling Japanese 151 for the past year plus. They recently took a big jump. They recently went over like 100 for me to restock them. I liked them better a month ago. So it's like my question would stand. Why weren't you buying them a month ago? I liked them better last summer when they were 50 something. I bought a bunch then. I've been buying them and selling them the whole way. I like them a lot less at 100 plus than I did at 100 minus. So yeah. Ivy's excited for Journey Together, new rotation, new meta. I don't get involved in the TCG, but I'm always excited for the next set. Is it a good idea to sell your really nice cards for sealed products? Depends on what your goals are. So I talk about it this way a lot. I talk about it this way. We are all in the same arena. If you are here in this live stream, you are in the arena of Pokemon cards. We all play by different rules and we all have different goals. We're all playing different games. So like me, my goal, my rules. My rules are I'm allowed to buy without paying sales tax. So I get an advantage built in because I am a reseller. When you buy things intended for resale, you don't pay sales tax. I'm a business. I get to write off my mileage going to the post office. I get to write off my business trips, the conventions. I get to, like, those are the rules I play by. And those are not the rules different people play by. Some people play by easier rules. Some play by harder rules, depending on what you're doing. And like my goal is to make money. My goal is to have fun, but make money in the hobby as well. My goal is to try to be a good influence on the hobby. No lying, no cheating, no stealing. I want to be a good voice of reason and logic. And I want to bring like robotic spreadsheets. I want to bring like data and my journey to the YouTube space to educate, inform, entertain people to some extent. Like those are all my goals. And some people, their goal is to master set every set. Some people, their goal is to stonk on all the latest sets and invest in everything and make themselves a millionaire and retire early off Pokemon. And everyone has different goals. Know what your goals are. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I haven't done it in a while. But know what your goals are. Set smart goals for yourself. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. I made a video on that. 30-minute video talking about smart goals. And do things every day that bring you towards your goals. I don't think anyone's goal is to like have a bad time. If you're having a bad time, stop doing what you're doing. If you're getting frustrated, the sets are too expensive. Stop engaging in the content. Stop engaging in the market the way that you are. Go back and do older sets. Go back and fill out binders. Or take a break too. Take a break too, like I said. Opening a $130 ETB, that wasn't it for me. I would have had a better time going bowling, going to the movies, going to the snow tubing hill, whatever. Like, you don't have to be here if you're not having a good time. So yeah, like I think that all makes sense, and hopefully it does to you guys too. Continuing on. At this point, third streamer is a myth. I was talking about live streaming for 10 months before I started it. So third streamer will be in Q1, very likely. I can't commit fully yet, but third streamer will likely be in Q1. The guy driving the lawnmower has a generous amount of hair on his head. Brad G, you have to take that up with HiveMind. He took a picture of me and he based it off of that. So I actually did. I asked him to make an edit to give me like I asked him to put in the receding hairline. So edits were made. It was an iterative process with my feedback, and then he'd make edits, and I asked for an edit on the hairline. So I did my part there to the extent that I could. Will there be a ship sealed option for the base set packs? I need to figure it out. One thing I'm leaning towards, and let me know in chat, should I do a straight up, everyone is ripping their pack regardless? Unweighed pack, shuffled up, rip them, and ship them? Or should I do rip or ship, let you pick without any knowledge of the weight? Or a third option, I've seen people do this before too. I told this to my Fanatics rep and he was a little bit like, do people do that? Can you do that? So base set weighs very cleanly. One thing I've seen people do before is you open it, you shuffle all the packs, you auction a pack, and then you weigh it and you see like, hey, it's probably a heavy, it's probably a hollow. Do you want to open it? Or you say like, we're going to open every hollow and we're going to ship every light. Those are all the different options. I don't know entirely which one I'm going to do yet. I lean towards giving people the option to ship sealed. If it's a light especially, I kind of want to rip every hollow. I want to rip 12 hollows. I want to see if there's a Charizard in there. I want to see if there's 2 Charizards in there, because there can be. I want to see PK fulfill his goal of pulling a base set Raichu. Talked about that on his recent live stream. I want to see that happen. So I'm not entirely settled on that yet. I'm actually going to have a conversation with Fanatics again. I'm going to talk to my rep and a couple other people there. We're going to talk about doing like an advertising thing for it. And yeah, I don't know what to do though. I'm open to PokeChef says ship lights. Who says hollow rip. Rip or ship would be dope. Rip, the audience wants to be entertained. The big thing, Hail DACA cards, appreciate you for the subscription. The big thing about shipping the lights is that it buoys the wreckage. Like, if you buy a pack for $500, I'm only breaking even at $500, so hopefully it's a little bit more than that, but it is what it is. At dollar auctions, they do what they do. If you buy a pack for $500 and you rip a non-hollow Pokemon breeder and you have no starters, you just evaporated $500. You just lost all of it. If you buy a pack for $500-600, whatever they go for, $400-600, I might lose money, I might make money. If you buy a pack for $400-600 and we weigh it and it's light and you want it shipped sealed, well, now you have a $300-400 light base pack. Maybe $250-350. I don't know what they go for exactly. But you have a base pack that's worth a lot more than the singles from a light base pack are worth. So that would be probably beneficial to me. But like, frankly, it would probably be beneficial for the amount of money that I get on the total break, because people would be more willing to spend more knowing that, like, hey, I'm either getting a hollow or a sealed light pack, both of which are worth more than a non-hollow hit, because those are rough. Those are very rough. So was says CT scan and ship the CT scan the booster box and ship, please. Definitely not CT scanning the booster box. I bought from a very trusted source who I've bought many boxes from, many boxes have come from. I am as confident as I can be that this box was and will never be CT scanned, because I'll open it before anyone has the chance to. And I'll open it, and on camera, what I intend to do, I intend to open it on camera and then do like a full shuffle. If we do weigh any too, if we weigh them, obviously what we'll have to do is we'll have to weigh a few. We'll have to see what heavy is and see what light is, and then we'll have to shuffle again so that people can't like figure out what's what, right? The way that a base set box works, for anyone who doesn't know, there are 3 artworks in here. There's a Venusaur artwork, there's a Charizard artwork, and there's a Blastoise artwork. And generally speaking, I've opened dozens of base set boxes. I don't think it's happened every time, but it's happened most times. There's going to be 4 hollow Charizard packs, 4 hollow Venusaur packs, and 4 hollow Blastoise packs. That's usually the way that it works. But I've opened packs, I've opened boxes that only had 11 hollows. I've opened some that have had 13 hollows. I've opened some that have had 2 Charizards. I've opened some that have had no Charizards. I've opened some that have had 3 Nidokings, 3 Magnetons. Like, there's variance in these things. But certain things are like expected. But even 12 hollows is not fully guaranteed. I've experienced it before. Other people have experienced it before. But yeah, let me try to get back through the chat. How's it going, Alejandro? Nice to have you here. Nice to see new names, new faces. Well, not new faces, but new names. New names. I don't need 1K a pack. No, I need 5 mid-5s a pack to like break even. So we'll see what happens. Pongus says Sylveon most underrated. Adam GSB was Jolteon, now he's Espeon. Oh, this is where Mark said I look like Friedrich Engels. Ponga blushing over my kind words towards him. Evolving cries then, evolving cries now. I don't know how people watch YouTube on 1X, especially like if you are, obviously, if you're here live now, not relevant. If you are here later, an hour and a half, an hour and 36 minutes into this live stream on the rewatch, just type 1X. Type 1X in the comments if you are a team 1X gang. If you've been listening to me for the past 97 minutes now at 1X, I don't know how you do it. I listen to most people on 2X. I think I'm an easy 2.5X. I know I talk slow. I try to talk a little bit quicker. I do the best I can. I personally have no idea what's playable on Pocket. I open my packs on Pocket, but I don't play. Appreciate you, Glenn Howard. I think I read your comment earlier, but it probably took me a while to get to it, so I appreciate you redropping it. Lot of 1x gangs in here. Obviously on live, everyone's 1x. If you can 2x me into the future, let me know what I'm gonna do in 15 minutes, because I'm curious about what I'm gonna be doing too. Are the lights red yet in 15 minutes? If you're live 2x gang. Let me throw in a poll. Where do I do a poll? Okay, here we go. Start a poll. Watch speed 1x, 1.5x, 2x. I know that there's 1.25, 1.75, but I'm just gonna go the 3 round if you need to. So are you team 1x, 1.5x, or 2x? I don't think anyone out there watches on 0.75x or 0.5x, but like those are a thing. So I just tried voting in my own poll, and it tried making me sign into YouTube. This is within my how do I undo this? It's within my OBS. Why did it do that to me? Now I just lost. Oh, now I just lost my live chat within OBS. Crap. Oh, that's funny. So I just lost my. I guess I could open another one of these. Let me open another one of these. Here we go. Now I have 2 chats open again. Let me pop this out. Okay, I fixed it. Kind of. .25x would be real rough. So 64% of people watch on 1x, 10% on 1.5, and 26% on 2x. That's crazy. Way too many people on 1x losing half your life. I agree. That's wild to me. But it makes sense. It's like it's the native way. It's the default way. Not surprising the vast majority would be there. My wife will be like, "What are you doing? How do you understand that? That sounds terrible. That sounds crazy." Now I just lost a bunch of the vertical in my chat too with this poll being up here. I screwed everything up. The experience share is not going to let me live this down. So 2 weeks ago on January 2nd, CZ packs were 477. And you said they didn't think there was any way to see them hitting 10 plus by next January. Can we take a peek at TCG player pack prices 2 weeks later? It's up a lot. I looked at it earlier. I forget what it was, but I'm going to pull it up again. You might be right. I didn't say there was no chance. To be fair, I said I do not think. What did I might have given a percentage. Did I say 1%? Did I say 5%? I can't remember. You might know better than I do. But yeah, they're $6.89 a pack. So they're up from $4.77 to $6.89 a pack. If you draw a line, if you draw a straight line over the past 2 weeks, they're going to be $10 with a linear regression by February 15th or sooner. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you think that's going to happen. But $10 by January could absolutely happen. It's more likely now than I think it was going to be 2 weeks ago. But I still don't think it's going to happen. Even with what just happened, I don't think we'll have $10 CZ. I will increase the percentage, but I still don't think it's more likely than not. Dubs Edition says SV11 will be the set that destroys the market. Rocket will be bought out everywhere, and people are going to be even more crazy in the hobby. They will try to do the same with SV11 and get burnt hard. Could happen, absolutely. IMO, I think that's Journey Together in a nutshell. Overproduced, overordered, coattails of Prismatic, FOMO, Perfect Storm. It could be. I think Surging is not deserving of the hype. Like I think it's a fine set. but I don't think it's a Crown Zenith. I don't think it's a 151. I don't think it's a Prismatic Evolutions, personally. I don't value it anywhere near 240 a box. It is what it is. Look at the market. Look at what they're willing to pay for things. Look at what they're paying for things, and like sell what you value less than the market and buy what you value more than the market. That's all you can do. All you can do. Trevor says, I see it playing out the same way as Shining Fates. People were going nuts and ETBs got printed like crazy. Main plays are flipping early or first to grade plays. It absolutely could be. I said it earlier. Some people will be very offended by calling Prismatic potentially a Shining Fates 2.0 with respect to the ETBs being over 100, being crazy, FOMO, stonk, scalp, hype, and then going sub-retail potentially for an extended period of time. I don't know that the ETBs will, but I would bet heavily that the packs will come around. I would bet heavily that in the next 24 months, it'll be available for sub $6 a pack. And Ponga says, dude just compared Surging to all specialty sets. Look at the price of it right now. Like it's priced as if it is one, right? The hype, the stonking, the price of it. I know it's not a specialty set, but if it's more expensive than a lot of specialty sets. It's more expensive than most specialty sets were at its period of release. So I think it's fair. Like, Ponga, I'm gonna pick on you a little bit. People get so crazy over drawing some analogy between two sets when everything doesn't match. Like, oh my god, did he just say Surging Sparks is kind of like Vivid Voltage? They both have a Pikachu on the ETB. Both of them were out of the gate crazy stonky, crazy expensive. Like, you're not allowed to do that unless they are the same exact thing. Why do people get so weird and offended by comparisons between things that aren't identical? Comparisons are made to like see the overlap. Like Venn diagrams, if we're doing a Venn diagram, they're allowed to have their own things and they're allowed to have some overlap in the middle. Venn diagram, Surging Sparks, Vivid Voltage. Pikachu on the ETB, that's in the middle. I'm gonna turn my Ponga. You made me turn my lights red, so I'm gonna do it. Let me get situated. Let me make this happen. Ponga, you made it happen. The lights are red. Red light Dan is here. I don't know. I feel like I need to dim the lights some when I do it. Which lighting is better? This one, well, this one or this one? This one, I think. My face is lit, but this is more shadowy and dark and red. So this is the one. Ponga, you just did it. So I'm comparing Vivid Voltage and Surging. Just because I say that they're similar doesn't mean they're the same. Do you remember Venn diagrams? When I was younger, we learned about Venn diagrams. Let me see if I can find a Venn diagram maker on Google right now. Do you want to do a live Venn diagram of a couple of these things? Class tools. Maybe this is too much. Let me see. Reduce to 2. Title here. This is going to be too much, I think. This is going to be too much. I'll just do it like this. So Vivid Voltage, Surging. Vivid Voltage, Surging Sparks. Pikachu on the ETB. Here, in the overlap. Fair comparison. Objectively correct. Vivid Voltage, Surging Sparks. Over $100, over $200 within a month or two of release. Objectively true. Fair. We got Lee Morton, must be liking the red lights. Giftin. Oh no, that's who got it. That's who got it. Young Bambino, Giftin 10 for the red lights. Appreciate you, Young Bambino. Not necessary, but much appreciated. So let me continue on. This is gonna cover up my hand now. The mower guy's covering up my hand. Oh no, this went out again. Surging Sparks and Vivid Voltage. So Vivid Voltage, Rainbow Chonkachu. Surging Sparks, Alt Art Chonkachu, or not Chonkachu, Alt Art Pikachu with a crown. So like they have differences, they have similarities. When you talk about things being similar, and I know why, people get that reactionary response and this isn't Ponga here, but this is other people in other instances. People get that reactionary response because they think like, oh crap, I'm investing in surging at 150 and 160 and 180 and 200 and 220. And this guy just compared it to Vivid. Vivid 4 years later, 5 years later, is only 160. I might lose money. That scares me. I don't like it. This guy's mean and evil because he made a comparison that made it sound like I could lose money. No, like we're just trying to make comparisons between things. I'm trying to make a comparison between surging and specialty sets because a lot of them, like what's surging a pack right now? 7+ a pack? A lot of specialty sets at release, I mean, Prismatic is even more than it, but like 151, that's about what it was at release. Crown Zenith, that's probably about what it was at release. And overlap. Surging, Crown Zenith. Pokemon sets. Sure, one is specialty set and one is regular set, but they still have overlap. We can make comparisons. We can make comparisons between Pokemon cards and meats if we want to. I mean, I would call the Van Gogh Pikachu, like back on Box Nostalgia when we ranked all the meats. I would call this like a ribeye. I mean, this is up there. This is in the S tier. This is in the S tier. That said, I'm not a buyer at the current prices. I'm a seller. If I want to give you my non-meme true consideration of what I think about that card in its current price. But yeah, let me continue on. We got the lights red. Once the lights go red, they really don't rarely, if ever, go back. So we're going to leave them red for now. We got Alexander Trudeau subscribing. Appreciate you. Let me scroll back. Let me try to get caught up on all the messages that I missed when Ponga made me turn the lights red. Appreciate you, Ponga. Appreciate everyone being here. Appreciate people engaging. Where? Oh no, I just lost. Where's my highlight chat? Retro's word. It's not just the word of the day. It's his word of the decade. Is gaslighting. He will not stop using that word ever. If that is that gaslighting? Retro does not. Someone define gaslighting for Retro. Someone define gaslighting for Retro. He's been using it the whole decade, and he still doesn't know what it means. Which, he would say that statement by me is gaslighting, which, if that weren't true, that statement could be me gaslighting him. But it is true. Oh, God. Let me... Here we go. So I think I just lost a lot of comments because it only keeps... I used to think it kept an hour, but I think it keeps like an hour tops, or it keeps a number of messages. I think I have more messages than normal. So I only have half an hour worth of chats. Let's catch them all. Says, do you have any plans of rejoining Troll and Toad Evo? Starting yesterday. Well, today. If it's still Wednesday where you are. It just turned Thursday for me. Starting today, Troll and Toad Evo is apparently back. Why do I feel like the lighting was better for a minute? How'd it get worse? Maybe because this is too bright. I don't know. Anyways. Maybe if I lose... Let me lose one more light. If I lose this side light, I think we'll be better. Wrong one. Did that get better? I think that's better now. I think that's better. Just the face. All the other ones are off. So... Maybe that's too much shadow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe people will comment on the lights. I need to get it sorted out. This will be a feature moving ahead in all streams. When needed. So I have stuff at Troll and Toad. Troll and Toad Evo was a program years ago that I was on pace to sell more than $1 million in a year. They pulled the plug on it. It was so broken. Troll and Toad Evo was so broken because it was too cheap and people were like abusing it. People were abusing it. Using it by design, like the way that they priced it. They made no money. It was crazy how cheap they worked for, and they had to kill it. I theorized years ago that they had to kill the program because it was so broken that there was no way to fix it in its current state. Lo and behold, a few years later, I was exactly right. I've talked with people high up there. That's functionally what happened. And they're back now. I have stuff. I never left. They never kicked me out fully. I asked them. I said, hey, I've been a good seller. I sold a lot of stuff. Tell me what you want gone, and I'll get it gone. I'll take it back. Like, teach me the new rules. Tell me the new rules, and I will play by those new rules. And I'll just optimize for them. The new Troll and Toad is more than twice as expensive. It's more than 3 times expensive back when Rusty got into it. It's more than 2-3 times expensive when I started in it. But that's reasonable. It's an amazing service. You can sell stuff for like very good prices. Troll and Toad is a great selling platform. Sell stuff at or above market on a lot of things. And I'm gonna, oh man, now when this blinks, for whatever reason it blinks, it gets crazy when the other lights are off. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, I just got a draconic visage. Visage. I always pronounce that word wrong. I just got a draconic visage on RuneScape. Good thing I was AFK and KBD all night. People have no idea what that means. But I have $60,000 worth of products still at Troll and Toad. I never left. I asked them to keep me for as long as possible. They kept me for as long as possible, and I've bridged the gap over to the new Troll and Toad. Will I send new things though? I don't know. The prices are a lot higher. It's going to be harder to make things make sense. Not everything as universally can make sense as it used to, but I almost certainly will be using it to some extent. We'll see to what extent though. Let's see where we are now. With 0 data and no, it depends. Best guess, when will the boom end? You're taking away all. It's like 2 + 2, but you can't say 4, is what you're asking me. So I'll do my best. 2 + 2, but you can't say 4. How do you define the boom ending? Is what I would need to ask. Surging going back under 150, I think that'll happen this year. Sets being available under 100, I think that'll happen this year. Week over week, Gray Felt Hat not going to new highs. Week over week, Moonbreon not going to new highs. I think this year. Whether it's 2 months or 6 months, I don't know. But I would say in 2025. I would say in 2025, this absurd level of the boom will end. I feel like we had a boom 3 months ago, and then we boomed within the boom, and then the boomed again. So we're like the third level, like Inception, but we're going up and not down through the levels of the dream reality, whatever. We're in like the third level of the boom. I think within 2025, we will at least revert back to just a single level boom. We won't be in the tertiary boom. That means that some things will come down 10, 20, 30% within this year. Some things will come down 50% within this year, I think. I think surging, if you can call it crashing, I think Prismatic has a shot at being available at 70 to 80 bucks in ETB, maybe even 60. It would require a lot more of them, but we could get a lot more of them. It hasn't come out yet. We could get a lot more of them. So we'll see. We'll see. Why is the American dream dead? We're on the red lights now. Don't make me turn the red light and blue lights. Don't make me go red light and blue lights, because we might have to get an additional intro for when we go red light and blue, red, white, and blue. The American dream is not dead. I think, I'm very biased. I live here. I was born here. I will always live here. I think the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America, the American dream is not dead. Could things be better? Yes. Should we work towards making things better? Yes. Should things be more equitable, equal, fair for everyone to the best extent we can? Yes. But are we doing it to an elite level in the United States? I would say yes. A lot of people in other countries, I see things, some people try to talk like it's not great in the United States. Certain things could be better, absolutely. But I think it's quite great. Gen 3 best starter and legendary combo. Gen 3 best starter. So I started Sapphire, but I didn't beat it. I don't remember who I started with. I think I have it. So I have my original Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Advance SP up there. I do have my original Sapphire. I can't remember if I started Mudkip, Rico, or Torchic. And I don't think I made it. I had Sapphire, so I would have gotten Kyogre. I don't think I caught Rayquaza. I don't think I made it far enough to catch Rayquaza. But I would probably say I don't have a strong opinion on this. But if I had to pick one, I guess I'd say Torchic, and Rayquaza if I had to pick. But that's like Torchic over Trico and Mudkip. It's not like this. It's like this or something. Waxley over Sprigatito and Fuecoco. Now we're talking like it is leagues above. So there's my answer for that. Honest and raw reaction to YouTubers being champions for collectors. Who are being champions for collectors? I think people are saying what they're supposed to say. I think, I don't know what this is in reference to, but I watch a pretty small amount of different YouTubers. I don't watch all of YouTube. No one can, no one does. I don't know what like the vast majority of people out there are saying. I know PokeRev made a video and people kind of like trashed him for it a fair bit. I thought what he said was pretty reasonable. And I ranted about this. My lights went red in office hours earlier on this rant. People are giving PokeRev a hard time for his video that he made. I thought it was reasonable. And I had this conversation about when I make a video, when I go live, I try to articulate some message. I have in my idea a message that makes sense to me, and I do my best to articulate it. Spat, if he's out there, he called it, he likened it to a game of telephone, which was a great thing. Great analogy. I envision what I want to say. So A, let's say A is the message that I want to give. And then B is what I say. So I have a vision of what I want to say in my head. And then I say it. I'm not very articulate. I stumble over my words. I'm just a guy who English was his least favorite class. I'm not articulate. I don't say well. I don't convey the message perfectly that I want to say. So I start out with the vision A, and then I communicate it, and it turns into B. It's close to A, but it's not the same. And then you, the listener, 226 people are listening to this right now. A couple thousand might listen to it in total. You listen to it, and you don't hear B. You don't hear A, because I didn't say A. I said B, which was my way of vocalizing the vision A. You hear it, and now it's C. And then you talk about it in a Discord to someone else, and it's a game of telephone, and it starts out as A, and it loops around 25 people, and it becomes Z. Like, I hear people talking about, PokeRev said Z, PokeRev said Z. I went and I listened to it, and I'm like, he said B, which I interpreted as C. This might all sound crazy. Maybe this makes no sense to people. Going back to the whole A-B thing. A is me envisioning what I'm communicating to you. B is the words that I'm saying. This might make no sense. I might be losing everyone in chat. Let me know in chat if what I'm saying makes sense. To me, it makes perfect sense. And to me, all the interpretations that I heard people say, like what PokeRev supposedly said, I can't believe PokeRev said this. I went and I watched it. PokeRev didn't say that. What are you talking about? Did you watch the video? Do you have a brain? Like, and I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. As Ponga says, anyone with any critical thinking skills knows Rev's video was fine and fair. But people like loud noises. People get very hyped up. People get very hyper about all this. So it's a game of telephone. Everyone's hearing different things. Even though the original thing was one thing, people took in and people took away 50 different messages when one message was intended to be conveyed and one slightly different message was actually conveyed. And then 50 interpretations of that. To be fair, I think he had 500,000 views. 500,000 interpretations of that were made. And of those 500,000 views, I don't know what his retention is. Maybe half watched it. My retention's like 20%. So maybe 20, like 1/5 of them would have watched it. But maybe half of them watched the whole thing. He might have good retention, better retention than me. I think Mr. Beast talks about having like 70% retention. So there's like a bunch of people, more people. So 500,000 people watched. Millions, though, heard about it. And but by the time you watch, and this is why I don't like it. This is why I don't like reaction content. The best kind of reaction content gives all the video in context. They do the whole video and then they react. Most don't, though. Most do snippets. Most do PokeRev said A, B, C. And they're paraphrasing. they're taking out snippets and they're not getting the full message. I don't like it. I don't like it. Not getting the full context. I don't like reaction content because many reasons, but like that's the main reason. The main reason is it's taken out of context and you are getting views off of someone else's work that you are likely and often misquoting, misattributing. They intended to send message A, they sent message B, you heard message C, and now you're reacting to like C, and then people like you're jumbling up the game of telephone even worse than if people just watched PokeRev's video by itself. So that's why I don't like that content. That's my raw reaction, is that I don't like reaction YouTube. That's why I don't like mainstream media in a lot of ways too. Like mainstream media is literally just like, hey, here's this newscaster reacting to, like, reading to you and reacting to all the news. I just don't like it. And in a way, when you watch me, you're watching me react to and talk about and speculate on. You're watching, but it's me talking my own opinion. So it's like the first source. When you're watching other people talk about events that they weren't a part of, that they weren't at, that they're not involved in, that they're not in that arena, in that space, I just don't like it as much. So yeah, long red light rant answering that question. What would it realistically take for TPCI to crash the market? Is it even possible right now? Yes, it's possible. Will they do it though? I don't think so. I don't know how much. Last year they printed 1 billion cards a month, and in a lot of ways it wasn't enough. Do we need 2 billion cards a month? Do we need 3 billion cards a month? I don't know. They own the printers. They could buy more printers. They could build more printers. They could do it. I don't think they want to. I know they don't want to because they don't want to kill the TCG, but they could, and I don't think they will. I think they're smarter than that. Geektanium, a big fan of HiveMind's work on the branding. It's Groundhog's Day all over again. The boom is boring. Same talking points. Same crying and moaning. Same people butthurt they sat on their hands. Mega yawn. Absolutely. Brad bet on the Vikings. That's funny. That's funny. Mega yawn EX Black Label. How much Prismatic Evolutions? So my initial allocation, I received today about $6,000 worth of product between my two distributors. That worked out to about 2,000 packs. I broke down 1,100 packs and I sent it to my streamers. I have sealed in ETBs, 10 cases of ETBs. I have 900 packs left. We're gonna rip. Watch my video Monday. If you enjoy this content, if you want to watch my video on Monday, every Monday I release a video. Every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, I do a video and I talk about the business. I talk about what I'm buying, what I'm selling, what's going on. This Monday's video at 1 p.m. Eastern will be the 90-day recap on Pokemon Live selling. I've been selling through PK and Panga on Fanatics Live for the past little bit over 100 days, but I'll give you the first 90. And I'm going to show you how much surging we sold. And I'm going to talk about how much Prismatic I think we will sell. And it's dark. The amount of product I got allocated, having bought $1 million plus in Pokemon product over the past decade through my two distributors, I got like a couple weeks worth at best of product. So I'm buying from the open market. I want to keep some ETB sealed as I always do. So I'm already buying from the open market before release so that I have enough to stream like a week after release. It's crazy. Triple Dylan LS RS loves the RuneScape mentions. Hal Daka Card says, this is the first set I've really gone all in as a little guy and have about 600 packs worth of PE coming over the next 2 weeks at MSRP. And with this news, I'm not sure what to do. If you're interested, I'm buying them at $9.95 per ETB. So I'm buying them at $10 a pack. If you don't know what to do, like, you don't have to sell to me. Someone might be paying more. But the way that it works, if you sell to me, you ship them to my PO box first. I'm like a known person in the community. I'm trusted. I do high-end consignments. Shout out to Gemmint Pokemon. I sold for him a little bit over 2 years ago now, or a little bit over a year ago now. I sold for him in the fall of 2023 a $217,500 PSA 10 base first Charizard. I have sold in the past couple years multi-million dollars worth of Pokemon cards on consignment. People send to me, I sell them, I don't rob them. I'm trusted. I'm not going to steal from you. So like the way that it works, you send first to my PO box. I receive the stuff. I go through it and I make sure it's all good. And then I pay you. I pay you with friends and family. I pay you with ACH, wire, USDC, crypto, a business check if you want one. However you want to be paid, I will pay you. And transaction done. I'm the easiest buyer out there. And if you're worried about it, I do also do PayPal goods and services up front. But if you want friends and family, it's after receipt. So yeah, this is for Caldaka cards. This is for whoever's out there. I'm buying Prismatic at 10 bucks a pack. I'm buying ETBs at 95 bucks an ETB. And that price is going to fluctuate. If the market goes down, my offer will go down. If the market goes up, my offer will go up. I buy at 70 to 80% of market and I sell at market on streams. So yeah, that's with the live streams I've got to keep it rolling. Love to see a bunch of RuneScapers out there. Grimer says Melodic is his favorite Pokemon after Grimer Muck. I thought it was a mythical like Mew growing up and that you can only get it from hacking. Melodic is Phoebus, right? Melodic is to Phoebus what Gyarados is to Magikarp, I believe. I believe Melodic evolves from Phoebus. In Pokemon Go, it's like 400 candy. Swag says, I promise every favorite will cover this weekend. The Arcade says, Dan, what's your best dad advice for a new dad? I'm going to use like the most generic advice. Enjoy and appreciate all the moments. They're all gonna, like, you're doing a lot of firsts, but if you're, when you're on your last kid, I have 2 kids and I knew I was stopping at 2. You're going to go through like all your lasts. So just be aware, like at some point, I know changing poopy diapers, doing all that stuff, it sucks. Like at some point, you're going to do your last one. And at some point, you're going to have your last day at home with your kid before they go to school. And then at some point, it's going to be the last day of school and they're going to like move out of your house. So just appreciate the whole journey. I know I could do better at that too. I think a lot of people could do better at that. But appreciate the whole journey for all what it is. It's a lot of work, but it's the most worthwhile work out there, I think. They can be the most frustrating things you'll deal with in your life ever, but also the most rewarding things too. Other than that, just generic goals that apply as much to family as they do to business and everything else. Have purpose, have meaning in your life, have direction in your life, set goals, know what you want to do, know where you want to be, and then do things every day. I just got another draconic visage. Visage. I say visage. Visage. I just got another draconic visage at AVD. Anyways. Be conscious how you spend your time and your money in life. And yeah, don't hate watch people on YouTube. It blows my mind, but the amount of people that spend so much of their day, and some of these people are probably dads, some of these people are probably moms, and instead of spending time with their family and friends and whatever, or watching content they enjoy, I'm going to end this poll. So 56% of people watch on 1%, 19% on 1.5, and 25% on 2x. But it's so sad to think, like, some amount of your life, you have to do things you don't want to do. You have to change a poopy diaper. Our dog threw up on the floor today. I was breaking down, usually that's my job, but my wife knew I was stressing. I was breaking down Prismatic. I had to get stuff out to the post office same day so that Pong and PK could have this weekend. And like in life, you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. Don't do things you don't have to do that you don't want to do. You do not have to watch content you don't enjoy. So don't. You do not have to. It's just crazy that people will volunteer for things they don't want to do. Like what are you doing watching content that you hate? Life is too short. Go spend it with friends, family, loved ones. Go spend it watching your favorite content creators. Go binge some Netflix show. Go kill KBD on Old School RuneScape before leagues end this Wednesday. It's crazy that people will just opt into negativity and not fun things. What is going on? There's enough not fun things you have to do in life. Don't volunteer for more, please. So that's as a dad and as not a dad too. That's for everyone. When/where is Dan's base set break? So on January 25th, next Saturday, I will be bringing my entire family. They won't be on the stream, but I'll be bringing my entire family to go visit PK's family, and I will be bringing this box with me. I will be alongside PK. So back when we launched Fanatics, PK was here. When we do this base set box break, our first WotC box break on Fanatics, I will be at PK's house. So yeah, it is next Saturday the 25th. We will probably start breaking 9:30 or 10 p.m. Eastern. We might start the stream at 8:30 or 9:30 to 60 minutes before the box breaks, just to get things rolling. We're going to auction off expensive stuff, $1 auction. I likely expect us to do over $30,000. Hopefully the base set box is about 20 grand of that. Hopefully I make a little bit of money on it after fees and everything, and after paying PK to stream too. But yeah, next Saturday night, 9:30-ish p.m. Eastern. And if you want to sign up, the link is in the description below. $25 free on Fanatics credit, $45 free on Fanatics credit if you use code KETCHEM20 first, and then use the $25 credit. What are your thoughts on TCG Player being how the lion's share of folks gauge market price? Feels like a simple math equation to corner a market card set. Would a TCG Player competitor help or hurt? There are TCG Player competitors, like eBay has a TCG Player competitor, Troll and Toad, David Adams Card World. Tons of different websites are TCG Player competitors, but that's the primary one. That's the primary one, absolutely. There are many times that there's arbitrage between two different markets. There's many times that eBay is either 10% more or 10% less than TCG Player for any given sealed product or card or item. So as a consumer, be aware of that. Know that that's the case, and buy things at the best place for you. And then yeah, if you're a PSA member already, you will have in your email, if you're the $150 tier PSA member, you'll have a $60 credit to Fanatics Live. And if you're the $200 PSA member that gets Card Ladder, you'll have a $120 credit to Fanatics Live too. So you might have up to $165 to use for free. Well, you pay $4.95 shipping. You might have $165 subsidy towards our stream next Saturday. You might literally, you might pull a Prismatic Evolutions God Pack with the credit. You might pull a base set Charizard that grades a PSA 10 and is worth $10,000 with a credit. More likely than not, you won't. More likely than not, 1 out of 15 chance that you pull a Charizard from a holo pack, 1 out of 45 in total that you pull a Charizard from any given base set pack. God packs, I have no idea what the hit rates are on those. Shout out to Bierski. Shout out to Shining Cards and Collectibles on Whatnot. They are friends. They are competing streamers, but friends. They pulled a God pack last night. Bierski pulled one last night on Ray's Shining Cards and Collectibles stream, which was awesome. I know a gambler when I hear one. Swag says, I'm going to take the Ravens -9, but the Bills might win. That's me. That's like me saying, I am going to put multi-six figures in Pokemon, but Pokemon might go bust. Pokemon might go down. Like, yes, you need to know your downside. I invest in the S&P 500, and I know in any given year, it might go down 40%. It might go down more than 40%, but I still invest in it. Not that, yeah, likening gambling in sports to investing in the stock market. That's a little bit yikes. But anyways, teasing -9.5 is degen that I can respect. Please like in Pokemon. Only gamble in sports if you enjoy it, if you have the money, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. All the caveats and disclaimer. Oliver Sandoval says, hey bro, I have around 10 ETBs. Should I sell them now at twice, or should I keep them a few more months to see if I can get more money? How much does the money mean to you? Opportunity cost. So one of my favorite videos that I made recently is opportunity cost in Pokemon. A Pokemon investor's biggest blind spot. What are you going to do with the money? So say you sell it, what are you going to do with the money? Are you carrying it on a 30% credit card? I would lean much more towards, if that was me, I would sell them. What are your other opportunities though? Where's the money gonna go? Me personally, I'm selling all of them, but I'm buying more to sell more. I don't like entering a product at this high, taking a double up and triple up and putting it into something else, sure, it could continue to go up, but like the question is like, oh well, I don't want to sell it and have Prismatic be $200 ETB in 6 months. Well, what if you sell it and you buy, say you buy a raw card that you grade as a PSA 10. You might buy a raw card. You might go buy a stamp box for $400 or $500, grade the PSA 10, grade a black label. You might grade a black label and sell it for $2,000. So what's your opportunity cost? What's your cash flow? What are your goals? What is your game in this same arena, Pokemon, but what game are you playing? I can't answer that question for you. But what am I doing? I'm selling and I'm buying, always, everything. I saw a couple of videos where people had like hundreds of VTBs. They probably run a rip and ship. They probably run a business. They're probably going to sell through every one of those in the next week or two. People get so, like, this stuff is printed en masse. There are, I don't know if there's millions for sure, but there's probably millions of VTBs. There's probably millions. And there's probably tons more coming. This stuff is mass printed. People get so worked up. It's like a pallet doesn't go that far. A pallet, Rudy, all of his pallets, all this and that. That stuff does not go far with the amount of consumers out here buying it, consuming it, investing in it, whatever they're doing in it. I'm so far behind. I'm going to try to get caught up. In Peru, they're selling boxes for 65. Is it a good deal? I just bought 6. If that's Prismatic Evolutions ETBs, that's a good deal relative to what they go for in the US. Yes, you could probably do some geographical arbitrage. Shout out to Adrian, Treasure Cruise Trading. We had him on PokeFlips several weeks ago, and he's doing geographical arbitrage. He lives in the EU, and he's selling Chaldean Fates. He's selling Twilight Masquerade to the US because the prices are so much higher. It sucks, Ponga, to have to rip a case fresh box, but like that's what was available. There was one with a torn seal available for 500 cheaper, but somebody else bought it quicker than me. Like, look how minty this thing literally just came out of a case, but like, yeah, I'm gonna be ripping it. That's the way that it goes. I don't have enough money to just like buy and invest or collect in a base set booster box, so I don't think this base set box break will move the needle on the hobby at all. What is the estimated value of a Prismatic God pack? Like, if you had to put a price range on it, maybe 5,000 to 10,000. It's really playing scratch offs at this point. I have no idea. Depends on if things, PSA 10, Black Label, whatever. I don't know if you're counting raw or not. Was says, question not specifically related to today's subject, but how is the booster box in such good condition? Every time I hold one of my booster box, I feel like the seal's getting damaged a little bit. Yeah, so this was literally taken out of a case recently. There are, I wouldn't call it airplane hangers full. I don't know how many exactly. There are people with many, many cases of base set boxes sealed. Many, is it 1,000 cases? Is it 100 cases? I don't know exactly. But there are boxes being ripped over the past few years, especially hundreds of boxes a year. There are thousands of these out there. I would not be shocked if there's over 10,000 of these out there. Someday, though, I'm doing my part to lower that number. Someday they'll be gone. They'll never be fully gone, but someday they'll be a lot harder to find. And what's that going to do to the price? We'll see. I mean, like sealed, it should go up over time, assuming demand goes up, supply goes down, even if demand is flat. All the same things people say. HiveMind downloads the video, runs it through Premiere Pro, and listens back at 4 times. That's crazy. That's fair. Triple Dylan RS says, brother, I play RuneScape. I don't mind the 1x grind. That is fair. Danny Phantom is hard on 2x for sure. Is Prismatic going to drop? It's dropping right now. I mean, it was pre-ordering at 150, 160. It's at like 130 right now. I'm leaning towards it going lower. I'm leaning towards it going lower over the next week and then creeping up. Kind of like, I think it's gonna mimic surging. Ponga, don't lambast me, Ponga. I'm comparing a regular set to a specialty set. But I think similar to surging, I think Prismatic will dip as everyone gets their product. People take the free tendies, free money, double your money, triple your money, sell it, and it'll go down. But I think in a couple weeks to a month-ish, I think a reprint likely won't save us really quickly. I could be wrong. I'm speculating. But I think it will trickle up over time between a couple weeks and a couple months. I think we'll get more down the line. I think in a year or so, a loose pack of Prismatic is 13 today. I think a loose pack of Prismatic will be like $6 in a year. $6 sometime between 12 months and 24 months. Sometime between 6 months and 24 months. I think a loose pack of Prismatic, which is what is relevant to me as a live streamer, I think it'll be about $6 somewhere in there. And it'll go down over time and then it'll go up and ebbs and flows. These things constantly moving. The pull rates look rough. Prismatic just looks so bad. I have no desire to open any of it. Too bad. If that was my specific quote, you said you didn't see, quote, any way they would be 10 plus by January. No, I appreciate the poking. I appreciate, like, I don't remember my exact quote. If you're saying that's my exact quote, that could have been it. I'm gonna flip-flop, whatever you want to call it. I would say that I likely meant less than 1%. Like, less than 1%. I don't think I've ever said that would have been me guaranteeing. I would never say I guarantee this won't be this won't be that. I always give myself a little bit of wiggle room. So I might have misspoke. I would have intended to say less than a 1% chance of it being that. But I still don't think it will be. I think instead of less than 1%, maybe I think 5% now. I still think it's way more likely than not than it won't be. But we'll see. I'll be here in January. I have it in my calendar. I hope you'll be here, the experience share. Maybe I'll be buying them. Who knows? Maybe they'll be 12. Maybe I'll be buying them at 85% of market. Maybe the experience share, I'll be buying them from you for $10 in January. I hope that's the case. That would be great. The market would be doing well. I'd be doing well. Surging is the best of the worst. Do you think Pokemon will increase pull rates for future Prismatic products? Have they done something like that before? A lot of people say that the first release is the best hit rates and then the later releases are the worst, and I don't buy any of that. I haven't seen that anecdotally. Small sample size, whatever. Sample size is growing though with the live streaming, not firsthand. But I think pull rates are relatively flat throughout the entire reprinting life of the product. I could be wrong though. I think they'll stay flat as I think they always have. Could be wrong. Pandito expects Surging to be a top 4 mainline SMV set, probably a B level set when all said and done. Doesn't sound unreasonable, but I don't know. Surging is what started the bull market. Once the price reached over 160, people saw the short-term resale opportunity on the sets coming. This is where Ponga turned me red light 40 minutes ago, so I'm 40 minutes behind. I will catch up. I will answer every question for free. If I skip your question, repost it. I apologize. I don't intend to. But yeah, shout out to HiveMind. Shout out to HiveMind again for that red light transition intro thing. It was said earlier that I need a hat to put on. Maybe I switch into my red Metazoo shirt. Maybe I do it with a shirt. I don't know. Every time I get an alert on RuneLight, I'm waiting for it to be the Prince Black Dragon, but I haven't gotten it yet. I'm almost at 1,000 kill count, so nowhere near the drop rate. First thing you see when you die and go to hell. That's my red light. That's when I went red light. That's funny. This is where young Bambino gifted 10 or in cheer of the red lights. I appreciate you, young Bambino. Dan yelling at Ponga like he just shit on his carpet. You all owe me so much. That's funny. So Young Bambino said, turn off the face light. I'm probably way late. Well, I'm definitely way late, but is it better? This is too much, I think. This is too dark. I could be wrong. Maybe this is better. Somebody, I'll watch the live chat right now. I'm terrible at watching it, but I'll watch it. Is this better with all the lights off? This is every light off. The only light now is coming from my screen. I guess I could open a bright thing on my screen. That'll make it a little bit more. Is that better? Or is that worse? I don't like that as much. I think it's better with the other lighting. 40 minutes later, I'm trying to adjust the lighting. Too dark. I think this is too dark. Let me go back. That one. And that one. I think that's the way. Honga says darker is better. I'm gonna do a poll. We'll make this democratic. So even darker, yes or no? Even darker, yes or no? Start poll. We're gonna go the democratic route for tonight at least. I'll try to dial it in better. I have a stream deck. At some point in the future, I'll make one button, and then that video will play. The lights will go from blue and orange to red and red. These will all dim. I'll make it one button in the future. Kevin Clear said it's cool. Looks more evil for sure. It's better with the screen. Without it, it's way too dark. It's so evil and awesome, says Young Bambino. So I'm going to do a poll. I will honor the results of the poll. I'm going to give the poll like 5 minutes to cook, and then I will honor more darker or not more darker. President Will Cabal wants me to wear a Nostradamus robe. Yes, Prismatic. Okay, let's do the Venn diagram again. Prismatic Evolutions and Shining Fates, ETB promos, and Eevee. That's an overlap. Is Prismatic Evolutions Shining Fates 2.0? They both do have an Eevee in the ETB promo. So, I mean, basically, they're identical, basically. Because one comparison could be drawn, objectively true, they have to be identical. Oh no, someone said Ducklet's better than Quaxley. That's evil. I think people want darker. Where am I at now? Where's that abomination? Ducklet's better than Quaxley. No way. I take extreme offense to that. Oh, and just to tease it quickly, I'm going to be streaming RuneScape Raging Echoes League on Saturday night. Two main goals. I'm going to take down the Theater of Blood, normal mode solo. I'm going to take down the that after doing the Inferno. I'm going to do the Inferno, and I'm going to do Theater of Blood solo. I don't want to tempt fate with a boom. I probably won't have that be a public live. I'm probably going to post the live, have it stay up for 24 hours so that people can bookmark it, so that people can add it to their watch later if they want to. And then I'm going to go live and then delist it. I'm going to make it private. I'm going to make it unlisted. So yeah, if people want to watch me try to take down the Theater of Blood, I will say I've tried solo a couple times. I keep dying at Nilokiss. And I did though the other night, last night, late night, about this time last night, I tried solo Theater of Blood normal mode. I beat the Nilokiss or original waves, and I died on the boss because I disconnected. So I know I can do it, especially once I get my Infernal Cape. I'm excited for that Saturday night. That will be this Saturday night. Next Saturday night, I'm doing the base set box break, and I'm excited for that too. But yeah, back to Pokemon. $106 into the live before he brought up meats, unless crab counts. That was earlier. Luckily, I have a dog bed at my feet, so when I dropped that Van Gogh, this one's like $2,000. This one's more than $1,000. It's the BGS 10. Luckily, it landed on the corner of the dog bed. Oh, this is funny. Shadowless Dan. Did Dan Riz up Troll and Toad in 2025? Oh man. See, I have Wilderness, so I have the Thousand Dragon Ward, so it's not even best in slot anywhere. This could burn out faster than 2021, like a larger mass star. It's crazy it's lasted as long as it has. I can't believe I still have 200 live viewers on YouTube. It's wild. Yeah, Silverhawk says this level of boom hurts too many people's feelings and makes people forget we live in a capitalistic economy, so they lean on complaining because it's easier than doing the work to obtain said product. Absolutely. Dan's wrinkles really pop with this lighting. Mongo is shooting for the red lights with that comment. So 70% of people want it darker. I will make it darker. I will honor the wishes. This is America. This is... You don't need to get into the semantics of America not being a true democracy, being a democratic republic. But this chat, at least, is a democracy. So I am honoring your wishes for darker red light Dan. Tonight I sold 5 boxes of Terastal to a guy on Facebook Marketplace who didn't know what they were. He asked if he should invest in them or open. Top signal IMO. My dad's starting investing with me in Pokemon, which is a top signal of all top signals. And that was last May, and we've only gone up since then. So I don't know what to expect. I tried really increasing the size of the white there to get more of the white screen on my face. Oh, where'd we go? Here we go. Oh man. Kiwi Green Game Boy Color was the Game Boy Color to have for sure. I sold my original Game Boy Color, but I bought a replacement. So this one here is sealed behind me. Obviously not my childhood one because it's sealed. But it's probably a resealed one that doesn't even have a Game Boy in there. I might have to CT scan to see what's in it. What do you think about going in on Battle Styles and Vivid at MSRP? I like it more than buying Surging at 240. I like it more than buying Prismatic at 150. I like it less than a lot of other things though too. I like buying Prismatic at 80% better and then streaming it. So I play in this arena a different way than you do. So depending on your goals, depending on your rules you play by, depending on all those things, those might be decent plays. For me, they're not though. So yeah, there's nuance. Like, you don't have to fully agree with anyone. You shouldn't fully agree with most people about hardly anything. People just get weird. People get like, people need to be very binary. People need to be like, that video was good, that video was bad. We can't say the nuance. We can't say like, Rev made good points here, here, here. I didn't really fully agree with him here. That's too much nuance. That's too much gray area. That's too much fence sitting is what people call it. You need to say like, that video was good, that video was bad. That's like how I judge an IPA. I have no palate. I like IPAs. I have no palate though. The extent of my IPA judgment is like, that is good, that is better, that is bad. I don't have, and like, so to be fair, I do judge certain things in my life the way that it seems like most people are trying to judge a 20-minute long YouTube video with tons of different commentary and points, which I think is unfair. But some people would say calling all day IP founders all day IPA good is wrong. You need to talk about the subtle notes of this, that, and the other thing, and it would be offensive to some people probably if I just said like an IPA was good or bad. Whatever, who cares? Cody Winter says, my Walmart got Prismatic Evo today, only 6 ETBs total. Some amount probably falls off the back of the truck. Some amount probably goes to the managers, to the distributors, whoever. That stuff is going to happen. Some amount of distributors hold back product. You can't do anything about it. So no sense like dwelling on it, crying about it. And I'm not saying you're crying about it. You're just making the statement. but I'm making a broad point from your commentary. Yeah, and to be fair, like I think Rev knows when he made that video, some amount of people are going to react negatively to it. He knows due to his channel size, he knows to his place in the hobby that he's going to get more criticism because he's more visible. He's there. He gets the views. Let's see. I'm 30 minutes behind. How do I enjoy the zero evolution? So my son got one. My son got one, but it wasn't the SIR. It was just a regular EX. He also got a Tyranitar. So he pulled Tyranitar. Maybe it was Sylveon or Glaceon. I can't remember. In 1 year's time, will Prismatic Evolutions pack or Metazoo's next set be worth more? That is a devious question. I don't like this kind of speculation. This is just one guy who has no clue. Don't make any decisions based off of this. But I think Prismatic will be like $6 a pack in a year. Metazoo's next set. Presumably, and I have no info towards this, presumably MSRP used to be 140. I'm worried. I'm worried for Metazoo's first release. I'm worried, one, like, with Pokemon's announcement, with Pokemon in the state that it's in, is Metazoo going to be able to get any printer space? They're printing at the same facilities, or at least in the US, I think at the same facilities that Pokemon does. So I'm a little worried. Like, are they going to find printer space? No matter what they do, if price is low, people will say, hey, Metazoo, you printed too much. If price is too high, people will say, oh, here goes Meta 2. They're doing the same things Metazoo did, stonking everything, not printing enough. Metazoo was funny. It was funny because it was like Krypton Nation, too little, stonking, underproducing to create FOMO and artificial demand. And then Nightfall, the same thing. And then, boom, Wilderness, UFO, Seance. Whoa, why are you printing so much, guys? You're making it worth nothing. Like, it's hard. It's hard for a TCG to know how much to print. Look at Pokemon. Look at Pokemon 25, 26 years later. Well, 30 years later for Japanese almost. And they're still figuring it out as they go. So I'm a little worried for what Metazoo is going to do. I think there's a decent shot. I think there's greater than a 50% shot that people stonk, people invest, people hype, people FOMO. I will, as I always do, preach people like, be reasonable, be logical, be sane, be rational. We don't know what Metazoo's reprint policy will be like. I could see Metazoo within a year of release being worth more per pack than Prismatic Evolutions. I could see Prismatic being $6 a pack, and I could see base set being a $200, $300 box, $7, $8 a pack, because all these Pokemon, crypto, stonk doggers piling in, thinking it's the next big thing. Will it be? It's probably not going to be the next Pokemon. It's probably not going to be in 30 years. I'm quite confident Metazoo will not be the highest grossing media franchise of all time. But will it exist? If it exists in 30 years, the base set 30 years later will probably have performed well. And people are just going to speculate like mad. And hopefully Metazoo can survive it. Hopefully Metazoo can survive it. A lot of people think it's easy street, releasing in a boom, releasing in a mania, releasing in all this irrational exuberance. It's not. It's not easy. Pokemon almost died. Pokemon almost died 4 years, 5 years, 6 years after release. And thankfully they didn't. Thankfully they're still around today. But had they navigated that more poorly, they could have died. Base set boxes. So base set boxes were hundreds of dollars a couple years into Pokemon. And then in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, they were $40. And almost no one was buying them. And now they're $18,000. So hopefully Metazoo does well. And hopefully it exists. Hopefully not everyone just stonks the crap out of it and then pumps and dumps it. And I believe truly GQL won't pump and dump it. People are dumb. People are going to use those words. GQL will not be pumping and dumping it. But will the consumers be hoarding? Will the distributors be hoarding? Will people be hoarding and speculating and end up killing it? They could. GQL could do most things right. And if the people interact with it in a bad way, that could just doom it from the start. I hope that stuff doesn't happen. We'll see, though. I have no idea. We'll see. Continuing on. Oh, watched about 20 hours of prismatic openings. It's awful. The pull rates sound the pull rates sound bad. They look bad. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched much, but I've heard. Where are we now? What's the plan for OSRS stream? Will there be some time at the end of the stream to send some top with the chat? There will be time. I'll probably stay up way too late this Saturday night. If people wanna to run some tobs, we can. Don't do things you don't want to do that you don't have to do. Amazing word salad advice, honestly. See, I'm not great with words. Me bad with words. Me very bad with words. But I think that's a good lesson that I need to abide by more too. I can't say that I'm perfect, and I can't say that I don't watch things that annoy me and frustrate me, and I can't say, but we all need to be better with that. Will your other cute streamer ever get a cool box? Absolutely. If base set goes well, we're gonna do jungle in February. We're gonna do fossil in March. We might do a WotC tour. Will we be able to do Skyridge? Will we be able to do Expedition? Will we be able to do Neo Genesis, Neo Destiny? I don't know. They'd have to go really well to get to that level. But that's the upside. The bull case for Catch 'em All Collectibles box breaks is that we'll be breaking Skyridge next year. We'll do every WotC set in order. That's the bull case. The bear case, we go live next Saturday night. We have a good time. I get destroyed. I lose $5 grand. I lose a lot of money. And then our next box break is like $1,000. Something that's $1,000. We try again with a cheaper one, and we try a base set in a year or in 6 months or in 2 years. I don't know. But we try again. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. Just got in the Patreon. How do I join the Discord? So appreciate you joining the Patreon. You go into benefits or whatever, and there's a way to link your Discord to the Patreon, and then you will be put into the Discord, and you will get the role of patron, and then you'll be able to see all the things. DM me on Discord if you can't figure it out. I can help you. Yeah, TCG Player, eBay, the platform arbitrage can be massive. There are some people that their entire business is platform arbitrage. Geographical arbitrage. Toki buys from Japan, sells in the US. It's entirely geographical arbitrage. Why does no one other than Brian make business content in the Hob? I'm not making it right now. This is a Q&A, but like I make business content in the Hob. Why does Retrospecs? Retrospecs gained 250 subs in one night, and he's not making enough content. We need more. We need more, Retro. Retro undervalued. Invest now. Let's see. Vibra Finance says, what's up, Dan? Hope all's well. Get out of Bitcoin by March 15th. Should be near the mid-cycle top. Cheers. I don't have any kind of, I don't know. People are a lot more confident. Sometimes I hear people say things that end up in hindsight being relatively true, correct, close. But I don't know. Generally speaking, the way that I've interacted with Bitcoin is I sell it when it goes really high, all by vibes, and then I buy it back when it feels like it goes too low, all by vibes. I've not sold since like 50,000 2 times ago. Not this time 50,000, like 2 times ago 50,000 when it peaked at 60 and then went back to like 20. I haven't sold in a long time. Maybe I sell a little chunk. I will never sell under 1 again, at least not anytime soon, unless it's life-changing money. If it goes to $1 million next month and then I can sell for over $1 million worth, I would sell that because that would be life-changing. But selling a little bit over 1 Bitcoin at 100,000 doesn't like move the needle in any massive way. Maybe I'll sell a quarter of a Bitcoin. Maybe I'll sell a small amount, but I don't know. Probably not. Leaning towards not, because it's like, just doesn't move the needle in a big way. I buy all packs. So all packs, feel free to check out my website, catchemallcollectibles.com. I have a buy list on my website that I will link in the chat right now. It's linked in the maybe it's not linked. My website's linked in the description in the link tree, but the buy list itself is not. But that is there if you're interested in what packs I'm paying, what packs I'm buying, and what I'm paying on them. Sometimes it breaks. The code is not perfect. Sometimes it breaks, unfortunately. But I'm buying anything from XY to current. I'm paying anywhere from 70 to 80% of market. How's the Pika Gray Felt play going? PSA 10 is going crazy. So in the next few weeks, I will make a video detailing fully. I don't know if I'll have all my grades back, though. I have 1 PSA submission still awaiting grades. It's going amazing. It's going, like, stupidly well. Me and John Radar are going to make so much money off it. It's obscene, honestly. Where do you think prismatic ETBs will settle? When? I think they will trickle down in the next couple weeks, and then I think they'll start going up, and I think they'll get like too high, and I think there's a decent chance they might reprint. I know they haven't reprinted ETBs that heavily. 151 Crown, they did do some, but I think they'll reprint and they'll come down. In a year or two, I could see like, in 2 years, I could see like 150 again. I could see 150 on the second time around. Entirely speculation, entirely guesses. Some people get mad when you forecast future prices, but like I tell you, I'm just guessing. I don't know. I will be buying it and selling it the whole way. I am 22 minutes behind, so I am catching up. I will get there. We will all get there together. We're all gonna make it. It's better with the screen without it's way too dark. I will work on my lighting. I will work on the proper ratios. I'll do some consulting with some people in Discord probably and get it all dialed in. They changed the formulation of the set. Speaking as a US collector, the set just is not any good. I don't even know that well all the differences between Prismatic Evolutions and Terastal Festival. I don't know exactly. I know some came out and they're promos. I broke down a bunch of the stuff today. I have some of the Evolution promos that came from the sticker sticker tech collection, and then the binder collection didn't have promos, but the poster collection had promos in it too. Mountain Valley Collectible says repost from earlier. Sorry if I missed it earlier. I do my best, but it is harder these days with this many viewers and this much activity in chat. For as long as I remember, every set at some point has had a window to buy at or under MSRP. If the release is overheated, it just takes time. Absolutely. Patience. Patience is a virtue. Patience will reward you financially. Impatience is very expensive. Sometimes you'll be better off. Sometimes the exception hits, like Moonbryon. Most out-of-the-gate things start here at the PSA 10, and then they go down over time, and then they rarely ever make it back up, or at least not over a long time, make it back up to their initial thing. Right now, more cards are, because of this crazy hype, FOMO, boom, mania, whatever you want to call it. But historically speaking, that out-of-the-gate premium is a very hefty premium to pay, and you're rewarded for waiting days, weeks, couple months. But you're never going to get that perfect bottom. You're never going to sell at the perfect top. You're never going to buy at the perfect bottom. You do your best. You do your best. Yeah, evolving sucks to open, and people do it all day long because they might hit a card that's a $3,000 PSA 10. Evolving cries, and people still open it. We're selling a lot of evolving cries. Generations ETB versus Prismatic ETBs. Both. Either. For what? For enjoyment, I'd rather open Generations. For investing, I'm not investing in either, really. I guess I am. Some Prismatics going to the pal, so I'm investing in Prismatic. I don't have any Generations, though. But I guess Prismatic for investment, because that's what I'm actually investing in. Talk versus walk. P-Football Pete just listed his ETBs at 105, already sold 120 in 5 minutes. P-Football Pete is at 120 on Prismatic ETBs. That's, I mean, it's high historically, but it's low relative to current listings, right? I'm not going to buy, I'm just going to look. Maybe they're already sold out, I don't know. But I already see 120. I see 120 with free delivery. Is that a real listing or not? I don't know. It looks real. As I said, I think it's going to do what Surging Sparks did. I think it's going to be dipping in the next week or two, and I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go up from there because there's not going to be a reprint for a while. There's a lot of product being held up. There's a lot of product being ripped. But that's one dude's speculation. Kevin Clear wants darker. Scalpers have about 3 weeks to sell out. That's one thing. Whether or not or when we get ETB reprints, we don't know. But there are booster bundles coming. There are other products coming that we know down the line. I think these Prismatic ETBs could get up to 250 before the reprint. I think I'm holding. It could take 6 months to reprint these ETBs. Also, ETBs are king for this set. Tempting, but only have 45. There's always the in-between option, too. I know Alex, Nostalgianomics, has been saying this a lot lately. I've been saying this and doing this for a long time as well. If you have 45, you can sell the 5 loose ones. You can keep the 4 cases. You can sell 5 today, and then you can sell a case next week, and you can sell a case the next week. You don't have to do all or nothing. If you have 1, you have to do all or nothing. If you have 45, you can play around with it. You can play around with it. Maybe we're a constitutional republic. I don't know. Constitutional republic, democratic constitutional republic. We're some form of those things. Maybe it's 3D chess by Pokemon. Make a huge set with a new element that sucks to open and short it. Then say, oh, we will fix it next time, and voila. How's it going, Kiki Jiki? Buy what's cheap and hold. Remember when Vivid was 30 at ETB? I do. Nobody wanted it. When nobody wanted Silver Tempest, I do. Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, if everyone's talking about it, it's probably not the best buy. But that said, there are always exceptions that will keep you guessing. Everyone's been talking about this for quite a while, and it's done nothing but go up crazy amounts. This has gone up percentage-wise more than most things in the hobby in the last 3 months since John and I bought that case. Extreme luck, we did not forecast the price going up. We just wanted the price to stay flat. If we could have locked in, if John and I could have locked in the price staying flat for the next year, we would have been happy with that, and we would have made thousands of dollars each. The price is doubling, tripling in 3 months. It's crazy. Will it double again? Will it go down 30%? Will it go down 50%? Could be both. Could be all of the above. No idea. Yeah, when your pull rate is like 1 out of over 1,000 for the hardest to pull card, 800 is not a good sample size. President Whale Cabal says, sounds like Metazoo will be lagging behind. Lorcana will be looking at it from the rearview mirror. So a couple years ago, I made on PokeFlips, I made the prediction that Metazoo will outlive Lorcana. Metazoo has died, but it's coming back, so who knows? Maybe Meta 2 will outlive Lorcana. Maybe it won't. Maybe Meta 3 will. Who knows? God Pack, here I come. Trainer Sin is on a mission. See an ESP Kev. You say Rev's video was good, lots of great points. I agree overall. It was fine. But it was a bit weird. I thought I just got the pet, but I didn't. It was a bit weird him attacking investors. I watched his video twice. I did not see or hear him attacking investors. He said that investors, to some extent, are a part of what's going on. And they are. That is factual. But I didn't hear investors being attacked. I didn't hear, all you investors, you are monsters. Think of the children. I didn't hear any of that. We've had videos like that in the past. If anyone's been around for 4 or 5 years, you will know, I'm not going to name the creator, you will know the video that was made by a content creator that called out Gary King Pokemon and called out all this and that and called out a lot of people by name, by face, shown in their video. And he did not attack people. There have been videos where people were being attacked, and this was not it. This was not that kind of video. Let's see. Pokemon Never Died wasn't even close. If you look back at the Wayback Machine, in 2003, 2004, base, jungle, and fossil boxes were $40 a box. If you talk to Echo-based collectibles, if you talk to people who ran leagues and were in leagues and who were in the hobby in 2004, 2003, 2005, 2006, Pokemon was almost gone. Pokemon was almost gone when WotC transitioned to Nintendo. That was dark times. That was dark times. And people come in, they've been in for less than a year. They've been in for 6 months, a month. And they come in, everything goes up. Let's all make money. I'm so confident. It only goes up. Green lines, rocket emojis. It is crazy. The confidence and the arrogance and the ignorance that people come in with. It is wild. And some amount of them might never be punished. They'll interact in a way, like, I don't know. But I think a lot of people are about to get punished. I think a lot of people are in for a rude awakening at some point. If you're doing it with your own money and you're not doing it on margin, you will heavily limit the extent to which you can be punished. But it is what it is. Yeah. Rev clarified his thoughts in his live today. 7-hour live stream. He probably put a lot of thoughts out there. People just want Pokemon communism. I ranted about that last week. So I had 2 cards in front of me. 12 billion cards printed last year. 8 billion people in the world. You are entitled to, your fair share of Pokemon cards is 1.5 Pokemon cards per year. So if you consume more than 1.5 Pokemon cards, not ETBs, not booster boxes, singular Pokemon cards. And Rattle pointed out last week that, like, I was showing 2 hit cards. I showed an Eternatus and a Charizard. You'd have a common card. You'd be lucky. You'd have a 1 in a million chance of getting a Moonbreon. You'd have a 1 in a, yeah. You'd have very long odds of having any card you'd want to have. Your fair share of 1.5 Pokemon cards would be energies and common cards likely. I'm not saying Pokemon almost died since 2020. Pokemon almost died between 2003 and 2006. Prismatic Evo fell so hard, Denizen investor hell. This background really fits well with the title and thumbnail. How did Prismatic fall? It's selling out everywhere. I was mostly being like facetious with the title and the thumbnail. Falling is like a meme. It's double, triple MSRP. It's not. It has not actually fallen. The price have gone down on the charts because the pre-order price was obscene. But yeah. Yeah, 2003 to 2005. No, that's fine. Yeah. I'm not saying, like, Pokemon fell a lot. A lot of cards fell in 2022, 2020. But no, Pokemon is nowhere near death right now. Absolutely, I agree. Dan, make steak content. long enough timeline, I think the two most likely channels that I'd ever make in the future, finance channel and then foodie channel. Foodie channel might happen someday too. Who knows? Nostalgianomics has your standard issue eight ball, Magic 8 Ball. Oh man, I have a lot of comments to make through. Thoughts on Celebrations booster packs at almost $10 each. I'm buying them sparingly at like 70% because I have quite a few. I like Celebrations a lot, but 10 bucks a pack for 4 cards, it's a lot. On average, you're gonna pull like you're gonna pull 3 of those hollows that are like 10 cents a piece or less, probably 2 cents a piece, and then you're gonna pull that flying Pikachu VMAX or whatever. Maybe you'll pull a classic collection. You could pull a Charizard, but like it's a lot of money. I don't value it that much. I have a bunch to resell them, but I don't value it that as a consumer. I opened it back when it came out. I opened my fill, and I'm not going to open any more, really, ever, probably, as a consumer. Let's see. Where are we? He sold 250 for 105, took 15 minutes. Crazy. How's it going, Catch 'em all cards? Very, very similar names. Manga says, I have opened thousands of packs in the past few months, and normal consumers don't worry about hit rates. Yeah, I mean, I will show you guys on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I will have a video that details all the packs that we opened, like by set breakdown. I'll show a couple like by week breakdown, how much surging we sold at release and how that kind of decayed over time, and how a set that lasts more staying power, whatever, like Crown Zenith or 151 or Evolving Skies, how those vary over time. Cool visualizations, and I intend to make more in the future too. But it's like Ponga has sold more packs than 99% of people watching, probably 95. Let's be safe. There could be 10 people in here that have sold more packs than Ponga over the past 3 months. He's grinding. He's selling a lot of packs, live streaming 2 nights a week, PK 5 nights a week. We've been selling a lot of packs. Catch 'em all collectibles. Yes, absolutely. Rev is entitled to say, like, hey, here are my thoughts on what's going on. Every time I go live, I'm giving you my thoughts on the state of everything, what's happening. And I'm not a big enough YouTuber. I never will be in danger of having a million subs. But if I had them, there would be reaction videos. There would be videos with me in the title and the thumbnail. That's just inherent to being a big voice in the space. But it's it's just weird how and I don't like react content, as I said. It's just weird. People misinterpret what he was trying to say. People don't even listen to what he said. People say that he said things that he didn't say. It just gets crazy. Every additional person that you add into the chain in the game of telephone, it just gets that much more garbled, mixed up. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like ESP Kev, I wasn't trying to attack you over your use of the word attack. As I said, in your mind, A, you intended to say A, and then you vocalized it, you verbalized it, you typed it out, and it came out as B. And I took that the way that I did, and like Rev is a human being, and he intended to communicate some message. It came out a slightly different way. People interpreted it a way different way, and that's just the way that it goes. That's how these things happen. It is what it is. Prismatic Revolution says, the children aren't victims. Life is not fair. If Pokemon makes your child a victim, then I fear for their future. My son, I tease him sometimes. there's a couple times, kids are kids. There's a couple times my son has said in the past month or two, my son has said, this is the worst day of my life. Because we declined him getting dessert because he was naughty, or we had to turn off his YouTube because he was getting a little sassy, or maybe he hit his screen limit time for the day. And there's a couple times that he said in the past month or two, this is the worst day of my life. And I said, you're welcome, son. You're welcome. We have given you such a nice life that the worst day of your life was the day that you couldn't eat that candy bar. What was the day that we had to cut you off of Minecraft YouTube? Whatever it may be. But yes, I fear for you. I fear for the adults that are turning themselves into victims over the state of Pokemon right now. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-numbing. There are adults out there that think genuinely that they are victims of the Pokemon company. Bierski talked about it earlier on Box Nostalgia. He said people came in on Whatnot and they were like, screw you, you scalper. Like, you suck. You're the worst. Like people going out of their way to have a bad time to try to make someone else's day worse because they think they're a victim of all this. It's like insane. It's insane. It's like people saying, this is the worst day of my life because I can't buy the Pokemon cards I want at the price I want to pay. You've got a pretty decent life going then. Congrats on that. Congrats on that. Ray said, Dan going Satan. I'm going to end within the next 20 minutes. I'm almost caught up on chat. And I will end within the next 20 minutes, fully caught up on chat. I will be live next week on PokeFlips. I'll be live next week on my own weekly live stream. I do this every week. And I will be live Saturday night playing RuneScape. So I'm looking forward to that. Who made the video calling people out? PokeRev made a video talking about his thoughts on the state of the hobby. And some people thought like that was him calling people out, him calling investors out. Like, I don't know. I saw it a different way. Watch it. I didn't watch that OK J Love video, but I did listen to a little bit of his recent live stream. Not the whole thing, though. There's so much content out there, it's impossible to keep up with everything. I don't know Nick well. I met him in person way before the boom in the before times in 2019 Worlds. I don't know if he'd even remember. But I met him like before he had his YouTube channel. And barely, I probably said hi was all. But like, I genuinely think, I used to talk with him years ago on E4. I've DM'd with him a little bit here in the past several years. I think he wants what's best for the hobby. I genuinely think most people in this space want what's best for the hobby. Everyone has all their own thoughts and opinions on how we could achieve that. It's a complex problem, though. It's a complex problem. People try to distill it down to Pokemon just needs to print more. Scalpers just need to go away. Investors just need to stop. No one of those single things would fix it. It's a combination of many factors. It's a lot more complex than people make it seem. And I'm quite confident the Pokemon hobby will survive. If people stop having fun, they should leave. I don't like the thought of people leaving. Hopefully people can enjoy it and have fun. But like, if you solely leave because Prismatic is too expensive and you don't give it time to come around, like, experience the other fun things in the hobby. You don't need to have everything. Again, talking to my 4-year-old, my 6-year-old, you can't have everything every instant that you want it. That's just a fact of life. So if someone's that much of a victim of the hobby because they can't have the set they want, I want it and I need it now. I'm not sad about those people leaving if you're that entitled and everything. So yeah, I've said the same thing 25 times throughout this live stream. one thing when when I have the white from my screen being the primary lighting, it flashes a lot. That's one issue with having such low lighting. If I do stuff on my computer, it really affects the lighting a lot. I just wanted to see what the live viewership was. I'd had it closed. So 206 people watching. Crazy. Crazy that we still have that many. Let me go back to the bright white. There we go. Doyle Tenney says, my opinion is that a new set release should be off limits to investing except Pokemon Center. Why? Because it damages the buyer's market, which loses value. Flipping is not investing. You can't put that control on the market, though. Actually, I heard J-Love talking about this in his thing. Like people in his chat were like, live streamers should be limited. Live streamers should only be able to, like, how do you can't enforce any of that. You can't enforce, like, allocations are the limit. Allocations are the limit, but you can't prevent people from going into the open market. Like when people own things, this is America. Don't make me turn the lights red, white, and blue. I don't have my intro built yet for the America intro. This is America. At least I'm in America. Not everyone is. I know that. But you can't tell people what they can and can't do with their products. They buy it. It's their property. Do what you want with it. As long as you aren't harming other people and their freedom to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Do whatever the hell you want with your Prismatic. I'll do whatever the hell I want with mine. Live and let live. To say that people can't do XYZ is just dumb. It's just objectively dumb and wrong and unenforceable. Even if you think it's not dumb and wrong, it's unenforceable. You can't do any of these things. So, like, what are we even talking about? Oh, I just jumped to the bottom. I'm getting close to catch up, but chat is going pretty quick too. Yeah, they didn't kill CZ, Crown Zenith, but they made it affordable and available to everyone at they made it affordable and available to everyone at sub MSRP. But now you're gonna miss the boat and people are gonna be crying about $10 Crown Zenith before January, right? Andrea says, actually, Pokemon cards are too cheap. Grab these discounts today. Today's price, tomorrow's discount. I know ZNG Emporium had quite the spicy video where he was saying everything was too cheap. They do relatively print to demand, but it's like it's a complex process because printing takes a while to do, distribution takes a while to do. At any one time, you have like 9-10 sets in print, 2 years worth of sets in print. It's a complex thing to try to manage. AB Krob says, not going to lie, Dan motivated me to get my finances in order. Who would have thought a random Pokemon creator I found would make an impact? I'm finally getting my 401k matched at work now. That prompts me to show the buckets. I love hearing that. I love hearing employer-sponsored matching funds is in the yellow. Like, I do this before I do this. Pokemon only comes once all these are satisfied. So I very much appreciate you, AB Krob. I love hearing that story. Manga also giving a congrats. Hopefully the future of humanity doesn't cease to exist the way that it has the past couple hundred years. Hopefully your S&P 500 index funds and target date mutual funds don't fail you. But I think at times Pokemon will vastly outperform them, but the scalability, the passivity of them, there's a lot of pros to investing in things like that, especially when you're taking the free money that is the employer match. So props to you. Shout out to you. I mean, people can and do say bad things about PokeRev. Like Alex called him out, and then Rev came into Alex's short and replied. Like, Rev himself wasn't mad at Alex. He just said, like, hey, I forget what the comment was, but like, you literally can, and people do all the time. If you go right now, I saw today in my recommended, I saw at least 5 videos with Rev in the thumbnail with people like attacking him to some extent, with people clowning on him, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely, people can and do. Whatever, I don't know. Let's see. It is red in here. Yeah, back when I was younger, I probably opened less than 100 packs over multiple years. And that's including like the stocking full of like 30 packs when they were 50 cents a pack on clearance at KB Toys. Like a couple years after it was cool. Doyle Tenny says, first PokeRev video I ever watched the whole way through because I agree with him. Sir Meatwad says, an adult just a couple of hours ago today went on a 1.5 hour live stream about what a victim they were currently in Pokemon. I don't know whose video that was. I don't know if you want to let us know in chat. I would actually add that to my watch later. I would check it out tomorrow. I'm just not aware of what video that was. Let's see. RF Collectibles, it's going well over here. I'm going to be wrapping up relatively soon. I'm going to be trying to wrap up before 2 a.m. You're streaming from inside your smoker tonight, still live at midnight Mountain Time. Yeah, I'm doing a late one tonight. Ugh, I just jumped to the bottom again. I am catching up, though. Only 7 minutes behind right now. We got some animated discussions in here. I can't figure it out. Can you put an invite link in Patreon to Discord? So there is one. There's one built in. There's a bot that handles it. You go into the back end of your Patreon, and then it just links over. DM me on Instagram. DM me on, well, either Instagram or Discord. I'm Catch'em All Collectibles on both Instagram and Discord. I can get you set up tomorrow. I can't promise I'll do it. I'm not gonna do it tonight. Like I'm getting pretty tired. I'm fading. I'm gonna go to bed by 2 a.m. I'm gonna go right from this to bed. I'm not gonna catch up on my DMs. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But I will do that tomorrow though. I always catch up with my Discord. I almost always catch up with my Instagram DMs every day. What do you think is likely to yield the highest short-term 6 to 12 months, buying and reselling sealed, selling singles, or grading and selling slabs? So for me personally, buying and reselling sealed. Buying at 70 to 80% of market, loose packs, and then selling them on Fanatics Live. But that's the thing. Like, people look for objective, singular answers to every question. My answer is buying and selling sealed. Your answer might be grading and selling slabs. Your answer might be selling singles. It all depends on what your rules are, what advantages you have. I don't know which one is supposedly my burner account, but I can't even manage one live chat, one account. I couldn't be doing two. Let's see. Yeah, buying anything the past 3 months, you would be up right now. Almost anything. Doyle Tenny prefers the Greninja and Twilight to the Umbreon and Prismatic. Yeah, buying all the packs to open everything yourself is very expensive. Very expensive. How's it going? Jaws dropping? Nice to see you in here. PokeTuber drama. Sports guys are in. Lots of whining. Seen this movie before. Time to praise for impact. Yeah. Oh, man. The big streamers seem to recommend Pokemon print it into the ground. I love it. See you on Mars Retro. No need to brace for impact when you're on James's rocket ship. Hashtag too cheap. Oh, James is a monster. I said with the red lights behind me, it just got more red because I pulled up my stream here to see how many people were still watching. It's funny in the context of like my lighting, but James is a demon for that last video. That was hilarious. Just woke up and red light Dan is live. Good morning, Julia. I'm gonna be going to bed very, very soon, but yeah, the lights went red. Ponga turned them red on me. Look at that emote we got too. We got a red light Dan in the chat. Oh, where'd it go? Don't you think Pokemon just told everyone what they wanted to hear? I think they're not able to print to demand at this market without doing unsustainable decisions for the future. I mean, they've done that post 5 times in the past 5 years ish. Appreciate you, Cly Oliver. Yeah, I'm always buying. Email, website contact form, Discord DM, send me a letter to my PO box, however you want to get a hold of me. This lighting is quite romantic. And with that, Ponga threw some Metazoo emotes in the chat. I just caught up. For the first time to 3 hours and 23 minutes in. We are absolutely booming. I very much appreciate so many people spending their Thursday night with me. Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That's gonna be it for tonight. I need to get to bed. You all should too, or have a good day, Julia, and others who are in those time zones. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching.